We're gonna start her up. I don't. Sometimes there's like a little delay. It says it's live on OBS. I gotta wait for the YouTube. Say we're live. Says we're live. All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another Juices Loose podcast. And we're going to talk about some Fire Emblem Three Houses. Get some impressions. We had some stealth Doom games release. We got a kind of a Smash Direct tomorrow. It's just Sakurai going over heroes, moveset, and stuff. Apparently it's 22 minutes. And anything else that comes up. So should be a good podcast. And let's get started. So what do you guys think? You want to start with Fire Emblem impressions or save that for later? I'll leave it up to the guys that have the game.
Who has it? We might as well talk about. I feel like Doom would be smaller, right?
Yeah, let's start with the Doom 1, 2, and 3 hit Switch on Friday. Surprise! Like that was a. It's been a while since we had a game announced and released the same day. I think it was since Fortnite and Hollow Knight back in E3 of 2018. So I've never been a huge fan of the original Dooms, but I do think it's super cool that they did that. It looks like Panic Button did the ports from the videos I've seen. So Clocked It, I know you picked up Doom 1. Anybody else pick up anything? Any of the Doom games?
Nah,
man.
So there's no point.
not now.
I plan on picking up 3, but I haven't yet.
I can say I got it on the Sega Saturn, that whack version. I've got it on the PC, and now I've got it on the Switch. That's right. I don't care. I love the best dude.
I hear double dipping like a madman.
Double dipping, triple dipping, motherfucker.
I mean, let's be honest. That the price was, by far it's what it should be. Just a few
How
quid.
much was it?
It's £3.99, so it's $5 for you guys. Probably.
Really? I'm surprised.
I mean, that's Super NES era type. I mean, that's old.
I thought we were gonna get the
Those
Switch
Super NES
stats.
games were sold for $8.
That's true.
Yeah.
But I will say,
I
I started Doom 3. I had a graphics card in like one of my old computers, and a guy had Doom 3. I got it to work, and then when I upgraded my computer, I could never get it to work. So that's the only one I never really played, and I know it's not very Doom-esque, and I was watching like the first 15 minutes of it, and it kind of feels more like a Dead Space. I mean, Dead Space came after, but that one I'm actually interested in potentially picking up and trying after all these years.
Doom 3?
Yeah, it seems like it's funny because I was just watching, like I said, the first 15 minutes on my phone, and I'm like, yeah, the character models look pretty bad, but it looks so clean and sharp. It's like when this game was new, I don't know what year it came out. PCs had trouble.
2006?
Yeah.
2005?
It was early, definitely around that time. And to have a PC run it like the Switch can run it back then, I can only imagine it had been over $2,000, if not more.
That's crazy.
So it's just It's just kind of weird to see it, and it looks like to the point where I was thinking, would I rather have an old game looking really sharp and clean and just like as best as it could look, versus like Doom 2016 on the Switch, which I mean is better in every way except for like it's kind of just soft and blurry. So it's just like I was just thinking about that. I'd almost rather play an older game that's like the best version of it than play like a new game that's like really scaled down. I mean, if you're on PC and you have a low-end graphics card, that's the reality you got to live with games right now. So I don't know, it was just a little thought I had, but that's the one I'm considering. And if Doom 64, if that's looking to be true, I wouldn't mind trying that one, because I think I rented that back when it was new, and I only played it for a couple hours, so that would be one I'd probably check out. But overall, I think it's really cool. Bethesda definitely supporting the Switch.
And we talk about the year that it came out, and still graphically, I think it still looks absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. I know this is a slightly updated version, better lighting, so slightly better, textures and models and stuff. But it's still technically the same. It was stunning for the time. Absolutely stunning. Yeah,
And
I'm surprised.
I haven't
Sorry,
seen
go on.
any Doom 1 on Switch yet, so I'm gonna actually click.
Oh, I love it. It's smooth as silk. Yeah, the music isn't as good. But that's its only flaw, really. I found, I completed it already. I'm just working my way through the additional expansions that got released. And I think when I'm done, I might buy Doom 2. I don't know. I'll see what happens. But just for a quick blast, just one of those timeless, mindless games. But I miss the old. I miss the old with first-person shooters of the past. I miss like the maze like structure of games where you could look like not like when they designed the game, but you could look down just the map. You can see how they've designed the map. For you to go through this room and that room, or loop around or whatever, and hide keys over here, secrets over there. I really miss that. It doesn't feel linear. Even now, going back to it, even though it's just basic shooting, just the game itself just doesn't feel too linear. So it's just fun.
Yeah. For me, that's always been like the turn off was the maze. Like, I'm sure once you learn it, it's fine. I don't know. I never was like a big fan of that that design of kind of having to just basically pick a side left or right and follow that wall around. And I don't know. I never really liked for me personally, that's that and Wolfenstein, the old ones. I never really liked the maze layout. So that's kind of why I've always kind of steered clear of them.
Not the only one. I mean, at the end of the day, that the market, went towards, the type of first-person shooters that we have today. It's a lot of people didn't. That's why, remember when recently announced, Two Rock got re-released, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
People, go back to that now because that's a very maze-like game as well. They expect you to go back and forth and to explore, and a lot of people don't have the patience for that type of game anymore, where they just like to know where they're going, have a little bit of a diversion, but like to know where they're going. and just get on with it.
Well, I don't mind. I love exploration, but I hate exploration to the point where correct me if I'm wrong. It feels like there was like areas where it just looked like a wall, and there was actually you pressed button on it and it actually opened up a door, like a hidden door, and there was a
you can judge the texture of the walls, which ones are secrets and stuff for the most part. So it's just learning. Those slight subtleties within the environment. It's just cold. Looking around the level. That's what it was. You spend more time. I think back then you spent more time just of 3D worlds. So you would stop and want to search around because it was so new and fresh. I think that's why Two Rock worked and GoldenEye worked. Is why like one of my favorite details in the original GoldenEye. So this going off a little bit, but you could shoot down the toilet and you get like a water effect. You get like a water sound effect. and the reason why people found that out is because it was so new. You thought, what can I do here? What can I interact with? And you would just try it, and sometimes you'd be surprised with what you uncovered, and people loved that. But then as time went on and games became more compact and a bit more linear and a bit more straightforward. People were happy to forget those details and just have a nice looking environment and just get on with the level. So.
Even now, when I still play GoldenEye, I take my time to aim for all the little like desk lamps and shoot them and shit, shooting all the windows. I like doing that shit always.
Yeah, and it carried over. Remember when Metal Gear Solid 2 released, or when they showed a demo, and all they showed in that demo was how much you could shoot the fruit, how much you could shoot the frying pans, and see people's shadows on the floor.
The important stuff.
Then, yeah. But it was just like this is so new. This is so awesome. Let's not just do for fun gameplay, and that's why I miss back then. A lot of that's been taken away now, but it's still some stuff here, of course, but not so much bigger focus because we're so used to it.
I kind of feel like. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I wonder how much better this version is. At least Doom 3 is over Doom 3 for say 360.
Yeah, I'm not
Does
sure. It
anybody
looks
know?
really sharp, really
Yeah.
clean, and it looks like it has to be. If it ain't running at
Was it?
60, I'd be shocked. It
It looked
looks.
really good
It
on
is.
360.
It is running at 60 on the Switch. Yeah.
I wonder if there's ever been a game sequel that's been such a leap, though, from Doom 2 to Doom 3, from a visual
Well, look how long
standpoint.
they waited.
I know that's why, but not. I
Yeah.
just clicked on screen. People watching can see. I just watched Doom 1 and 2 footage. Now I'm on Doom 3, and I mean, yeah, you could say like Kid Icarus to Kid Icarus Uprising. You know, there's been series sequels that have taken forever, but that's
Yeah,
a
but that's still not as
drastic.
drastic.
That's a drastic, because Doom 3 still holds up to today with the lighting, like the flashlight
I
and
still
stuff.
play. I never finished it, so I go back and forth through it every once in a while on my 360. So that's why I was wondering if it was a better version than that version, because if you bought it on 360, I got the BFG version. It came with 1 and 2, and Ultimate Doom I think is on there. So
Yeah, I'd be curious to see if what this Switch
look at
version
it, see
stacks
what it
up to
says.
like the last gen. Because I mean, 2006, so that was 2005, 2006. That was early in the 360's life. I don't know when Doom 3 actually.
yeah, that was early 360.
So I mean, no way it was taking full advantage. They might have even released another version that was updated. I think maybe.
Yeah,
That's
because I think the version I have is supposed to be a better version. It's BFG.
No, yeah, I'm gonna say this Doom 3 version on the Switch is the updated version, except they've a bit more put into 1080p
Yeah,
and
I remember
60 frames per second.
when it first came out. I remember people complaining about how dark it was, and then they added like a flashlight.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, and they've improved the lighting on this
they
one and
improved the
stuff.
lighting and stuff too. So
Yeah,
I
it's
think
definitely
Yeah.
brighter.
that might just be this version. Might be the same
It
version.
reminds me of. I mean, I can see where Dead Space got some inspiration from this game. But first
Can't
person.
find it now. I'm looking for it.
I don't think it's gonna. It's probably not gonna blow me away. You know, after playing Doom 2016, I think it's gonna.
It's a much slower game than this one. A lot of people
Yeah.
didn't like it for that. It is much slower.
Yeah, it's slow.
It's a lot tighter in the corridors and stuff. It's a different game. I'm old school Doom. I just like to run around and blow things up. And speaking of Doom, I was watching some new footage of Doom Eternal, which they showed as well just now. And I was slightly put off by one thing where they've added weapons now where enemies got like shields and stuff. And you can use like a certain weapon to drop their shield and then change weapon to shoot them again. And I don't want that in Doom. I just want to be able to run around and blow shit up.
Well, they had
And
shield.
just
They had shield characters. One character had a shield.
Yeah, like an
no, I
actual.
don't mean like just shields like that where they're holding up a physical shield. I also mean on their body
like
as
body armor.
Yeah, almost like
Yeah,
a
like
Halo.
Like a
armor.
Metroid Prime, where you
Halo.
have to use the right weapon to defeat.
Yeah, but I mean, Metroid once again is a much slower game. It's not a Doom, is it? Where you just want to run around and blaze shit up with a rocket launcher.
We'll have to, I'll have to wait till.
It's only a little niggle. I'm sure there'll still be a good game and whatever. It's going anything off the first one. So yeah.
I never find shit because I got too much shit to look through.
What are you digging for?
I'm still trying to find Doom 3 BFG.
Yeah, I didn't. Oh, QuakeCon. That's right. I forgot about that.
That's
Yeah.
what
That's where this.
this is all about, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, these Doom games, I think, they leaked a bit earlier, didn't they, on the Nintendo eShop or whatever.
You goddamn mind. What do you call them? Those people that.
Oh yeah, the data
miners.
mining.
Goddamn data miners ruining everything.
Don't think it was even that. I think they literally posted on the eShop. They actually come up for sale on the eShop. I'm sure they did. For momentarily, and they were quickly taken down. It still cracks me up though how. What are the chances of someone being on the eShop, and not only that, but like smash your screenshots or recorded footage quickly before it's taken down. Like the internet is just so quick on the trigger, man.
Are trigger ready to go to like capture this type of stuff? Who are these
You
people?
must always be ready when a leak arises.
You got to get the right person as well, because not everyone has Twitter or anything like to be able to post it quickly. Anything you got to be the right person there to be able to get the traction. Like it always cracks
Shit
me
is
up.
always weird about the internet. Where like some YouTuber uploads some horrible fucking video and they instantly delete it, and instantly everybody's re-uploading that shit. Like,
Like the whole world has seen it. It's on the news. It's on everything. Like,
Yeah.
You can't get away with that. I caught you.
I know last week I kind of my final thoughts. I was talking about somebody who we cleared it up, but he basically made a statement about, I think it was Astral Chain, like about how, why do I want to see 8 more minutes of this game? I'm already buying it, and I'm like, I need to see more. But I feel like I'm going to contradict myself with Doom Eternal. This is the third like big presentation where they've showed an extended gameplay, clips with the guys commentating, and it's almost like it's just redundant at this point because they just keep doing it. Every event Bethesda goes to, or I think they did it last QuakeCon, they showed the first footage, and then they showed it at Bethesda's press conference, and now at this year's QuakeCon, they're basically doing the exact same thing every time.
Yeah, I got tired of watching it as well. When they were demoing as well, this is one of my problems with with Doom 2016, is that the game kept you in tiny arena like areas until you cleared of all enemies.
Mm-hmm.
When he was demoing Doom Eternal just now, he wasn't playing properly, and it showed how easy it was. You could just like shoot the enemy just once, turns out yellow, you dives in, gets a glory kill. I think the glory kills were overused. I just prefer just to literally just machine gun down everything, and instead of it having like flashing, ready to kill in front of you, because it just makes it too easy. But it was a bad demo as well, because he was just standing there, and it showed how easy it was. Whether he had the game on easy or not, I don't know. But
I'm sure he did.
Sometimes
can I just read this description? So see if anybody knows, maybe somebody in the comment or the chat might know. All right, so this is the description for Doom 3 BFG. Doom 3 BFG edition of features Doom 3 and the Resurrection of Evil add-on pack, both of which have been completely remastered. Also included are 8 new levels entitled The Lost Mission. And as a special bonus, Doom 3 BFG includes the classic Doom, Doom 2 games, making it the definitive collection. So Ultimate is not in this one. But yeah. So I don't know if anybody knows if this version of Doom 3 has that stuff or not. But
yeah, I know it has the additional expansion stuff. I saw that somewhere.
You saw that?
Yeah, I did see it somewhere. Let me.
Did Doom 3 come out for OG Xbox?
Yeah, the original one it did. Yeah,
it did, right?
That's the first come on PC and the original Xbox. Yeah.
That's right. It did come out for original Xbox, and then that's what I was.
So we also want to point out how they had Bethesda's come out and said that the registration thing, even though you could use any fake email address you wanted, but it wasn't supposed to prompt it. It was supposed to be something you could do if you're a member and you want to just, I don't know, link the games to your account or whatever. That was a glitch that I don't know if it's been fixed yet or not, where you don't, their intention wasn't to force people to create a Bethesda Net account and force you to do it for these games that have no online, but obviously for Doom Eternal, I'm expecting I'm going to have to do it. So they come out and said that was not intentional. It was supposed to be fully optional, and it was somehow mandatory, and I don't know if they fixed it. So I don't.
I saw like a bunch of videos where people were saying still at the moment, if you want to play offline, you need to go into airplane mode or some shit. I haven't done that because I've just played it at home. I don't take my Switch hardly anywhere, so I've just been playing at home. And
yeah, I think initially like the people that got it as soon as it came out were saying they couldn't, without internet connection, they couldn't start it up because they didn't do an account thing first. They like downloaded it and left, and then they were stuck. But that, like I said, Bethesda came out and said that was not supposed to work that way. So
yeah, it nearly put me off. Yeah.
How did
it put me off by that.
Yeah, I can imagine you see these games, you download all 3, You grab your Switch, you get on your bus or train, you have like an hour commute, and you can't play any of them because you gotta have internet. I could understand someone being mad about that and making a big deal about it, but I don't love the fact that I'm gonna have to do that for Doom Eternals. Like I have so many freaking accounts. It's like why do I need a Bethesda account? Like I have my I'm gonna play it on Steam. I don't like all these freaking accounts. It's just I have
man, join our service.
Yeah,
we'll
it's
give
like
you everything.
I have accounts where I don't even know my username anymore. Definitely my password either, and it's just like because you had to do it to like. I think I had an Ultraviolet account, which Ultraviolet just closed down. That was like a digital movie service. And then I had some.
Oh yeah, my friend mentioned that as well. Was that like he said like those are like the little slips that you get in like a Blu-ray case
Well,
or something.
Ultraviolet was just an option. You can choose to enter your code for iTunes, for Google, for Ultraviolet, and people chose the popular ones. So it's like I think I have Deadpool on my Google account somewhere. If I ever need to watch that movie on my phone or something on the go, I can. But to me, it's like if they made that where it was like a legit way to watch it, like on a big screen, maybe I'd do it. But anyway, so that's it for Doom. And I was trying to think this whole time. Feels like there's something else that I'm missing, another story. But I guess we'll get into the Fire Emblem impressions because I know of only two people for sure that have played it, Robert and Terrell. So seems like it's getting some good reviews though, and Metacritic score, which I don't usually go by, but I know somebody posted a clickbait 6 out of 10 review. So I was like, oh, it was the first review I seen. I was like, oh, well, that's not good. And then everything after that was IGN gave it a 9.5. And so Terrell, was it worth the wait?
Hey guys, not bad. I am sensei. I am the best sensei, and don't fuck with my class. Man. Also, I want to note that it sold insanely well in the UK. It's actually the best
number one.
Oh, they beat Wolfenstein, didn't it?
Yeah, it beat Wolfenstein.
I love that people always use that shit. Like the UK is like
that's all we got. That's our early.
Well, the UK is like the weakest market for Nintendo.
So it means a lot.
Trash over there.
Yeah, it means a lot for them to be selling this one. But
so you're a good barometer for something that does really well.
Yeah, but let's just talk about the game real quick. That shit, I don't even know where to fucking start, yo. It's one of those games that because up until the release, I wasn't losing my shit every time they showed something of it. It's kind of like I was happy to see it. I was happy they were giving it publicity, and I liked the commercials they were putting out for it. But I was like, all right, cool, fine. I'm just looking forward to when the game comes out. So I wasn't and I think I even noted that on my E3 stuff. I was I wasn't going crazy over it.
Yeah, E3 footage I didn't think do anything to really sell the game to me personally.
Fire Emblem, unfortunately, is one of those franchises you kind of just have to promote, but don't expect. But it will never be a hype franchise. People will be like, "Oh, cool," and that's about it. And then that game dropped on Friday, bruh. And when I tell you, I blacked out for 2 or 3 hours. I was like, "What the fuck, man?" It's so crazy because it steals a lot from, I wouldn't say steal, but it uses a lot of things Persona 5 does with the time management, and you got to teach your kids and shit. And that's addictive as hell because it's not, how do I put it? It's not all throwing in your face. I think the most convoluted thing about the game is probably its story. And not that the story is overly convoluted, but more so that they throw a lot of lore at you really quick. So a lot of that shit's going to go over your head when you're first playing it. The basic premise is simple. You and your dad have gone to this monastery. You are now a teacher. You get to teach some students, and then you're kind of finding the history of this world. And there's a lot of political drama and religious corruption going on. It's super interesting. And then the battle system, ironically enough, is more simple than it was in Awakening because it doesn't have the weapon triangle. So it's more have at you. But the thing that makes it really addictive is that your students can literally be anything you want them to be. It's literally what class do you want them to be? all right, give them the weapons to train in that class and teach them in that area, and then you can upgrade them to that class. Pretty much every character can be whatever you want them to be. And there's
they can change weapons whenever they want, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Okay.
Like when they first start out, they're all just like basic students. So you literally can give them. I think the new class is like, I think they call them the fighter, where they have like gauntlets and they can actually just run up and punch the shit out of dudes. I think that's a new class because I don't remember that being in the other games. But you can literally give them any basic weapon you want and then have them start from there. Obviously, they'll have their preferred skill set, and you can either go into that. The same thing kind of goes with the teaching. Like, let's say you don't care about any of that teaching shit. Well, you can hit the auto instruct, and you ain't gotta worry about it. Has its sim elements where you're walking around the monastery and you do certain side quests.
Going to lunch with your students.
I didn't even find out about that. I didn't even find out about that feature until later. Like, I hadn't, because unless you actually do a side quest to like unlock it, you won't know about it. And I just happened to do it, and they were like, "Do you want to invite them for tea?" And I was like,
"Oh, hell yeah!"
Invite them for tea, and I'm like, "Okay." Hey, okay. I'm like, "Oh, this is like this game's like dating sim mode," but it's not anything crazy. It really isn't. Like, I think it's like you pick the kind of tea they like, and then you ask 3 questions, and if you get them right, then your support level goes up, and then you can move the camera around. But it's not like they're in like they're in their bra or bikini or some shit. It's just like they're in their normal outfits. You just kind of get a close up view of them. They ain't nothing crazy.
I love it how it's about having breakfast, and you're like, well, it's not like they're in a bikini or something. How do you have breakfast?
The reason why I say it, because you gotta remember, Retro, from Fates, we're going from Fates with the last like intimacy mode kind of thing. Fates was like full blown kissing waifu husband shit. So like,
for real?
I gotta make it a point to let people know this ain't on nothing crazy. Granted, I'm cool with both. That's just me personally. I don't want to get into all that. Point is, the game is really fun. It's really addictive, and I'm just enjoying the shit out of it. Like I can't. There's nothing else to say. It's just a good game. It's just a really good fucking game.
Well, I just shared in the live chat, Roy Relapse. I asked him if he could play my Mario Maker level, and he said he was busy. Well, this isn't the exact tweet, but yeah, he's having tea with. She ain't wearing a swimsuit, but she might as well.
You know what the funny thing about this particular character? You want to know? But you know the funny thing about this character? Mm-hmm. Fun fact. I'm gonna tie it in with some other shit I love. The voice actress for her is Veronica Taylor. For those who know, Veronica Taylor was Ash Ketchum's first voice actor in the Pokemon anime. So if she sounds familiar and you watch the original Pokemon dub, that's why. And it fucked me up. I said, no, I can't do this.
Hey, you don't want to. You're trying to tell me you don't want to fuck Ash?
That's literally what I'm telling you, Robert. I don't want to do that. All right. I grew up with her on a completely different level. This is some next level shit. We out here having tea in broad daylight. Get the fuck out of here. I'm going to jail.
What's the deal with that one male voice actor that they're adding a different voice because he got in trouble?
Yeah. Christopher Nisoy. Nisoy originally, most people know him because originally he did animations. Like, he was one of the first like YouTube animators, and then he kind of branched out and started doing a lot of his own stuff and made his own series and became a voice actor. And then like he got the role for Byleth, the male version of Byleth, in Fire Emblem Three Houses, but apparently a bunch of allegations came out about him being like emotionally and physically abusive, and then they were like, yeah, we can't really have your name on all of this now. And then he admitted to everything. So it was like Nintendo, I think, actually already confirmed there's going to be a patch that switches the voices for him, at least for him specifically. They already changed his voice in Heroes because they had Byleth put in Heroes, and then they were like, yeah, we got to change his voice. So that's the situation. It's kind of a low key thing because it doesn't really affect the game. It just was kind of a weird press issue we had to deal with in the moment. But it doesn't take away from the game. The game's great. Fucking love the game. Can't have enough. Let someone else talk.
Well, what chapter you on, Terrell?
I think I'm on chapter 5, 4 or 5.
Okay. So right now I'm on chapter 7.
I
which
knew
is
you
so
were.
weird.
I knew
It's so
you
weird
were.
that what's it called? That I'm ahead of Terrell in a Fire Emblem game.
You know
But
why
Wait,
you're
wait,
ahead of
I'm
me?
sure I'm sure you're doing a lot more
Can we
side
just
stuff
stop
than
a
me.
second?
What?
A second, and can we just discuss the dramatic turn of events that has shocked the Juices Loose crew? It's shocked the world. You know, it's shocked the UK, and you know, the fact that Rob is just blitzing through every single brand new game that is releasing. Looks stupid. Huh?
It's
Not
absolutely
Dragon. I still haven't
What's
beat
happened?
Dragon Quest Builders.
I don't. Can you beat Dragon Quest Builders?
Yeah, there's an ending to it.
He'll find a way.
He'll find a way. He's an inspiration to us all.
Bro, I'm sure you've played more side stuff. I think that's definitely has to be a major reason why. And are you playing on like hard and shit also?
Am I? No, I'm not. I'm playing.
You're still playing on classic.
Classic normal is what I'm playing.
And on casual. I don't want my guys to leave me.
Dude, they give you they literally give you
They give that rewind feature.
Yeah, they give you the rewind ability, which works out well.
Dude, there's this one battle that I faced against this thing, and my whole crew just was fucking demolished. And I'm like, oh my god! And then I had to go back like 4 times, and then it's weird because it gives you 3, but then it gave me another 3. I'm like, so can I do it a limited amount of time?
It's probably because you're playing on easy or casual. I mean,
that's why I did it again, and then I'm like, oh my god, I don't want to do this whole thing again because each battle could take an hour or something if it can, and so like to me that one battle was what really was like, hey, it was a wake up call, and I was like, yeah, you're gonna get bitch slapped if you don't do shit, and I'm like, oh god, okay, Jesus, and so I basically started doing like these other missions where I guess that's kind of like the grinding part of the game where you could do like it's like quests. You know how you have like the auxiliary quest stuff like that.
Yeah, you have optional battles you can do.
It looks like you could kind of do them however many times you want, and so that's
you can.
like, okay, so yeah, that's kind of like your grinding, right? You could kind of just level up your characters through there.
Yeah, you kind of want to do that to get them like at a high enough level so they can take their tests, so they can reclass into a new class and shit.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Yeah, and so like I'm like really enjoying it. Like it's a lot of like where like someone will get hit and then they dodge it and then they hit the back. I'm like, oh my god, thank you, good job for doing that. And like it just feels so exhilarating seeing the character, my students, and not doing things. They're doing actual things I'm teaching them. Like, good job, man.
So let me ask Terrell a couple questions real quick.
Okay.
Because TriLink doesn't have it yet, but he thinks he's not going to like it as much without the dual screens. Now, have you played Fire Emblem on consoles before?
No. I think, what was the last? I haven't played any of the like GameCube or Wii ones.
So
because as Terrell would say, you're a filthy casual.
No, well, I mean, listen. I recognize I am a new generation Fire Emblem fan. I don't consider myself like an old head. I did go back and play the GBA one. That was like the last one I played, old one.
Okay.
So what's your impressions of playing this coming from basically 3DS?
I can understand the missing of the dual screens. I'll be real with you though. Once you realize, like, I'll put it this way. I don't know, Robert, if you even noticed this. Did you know that you could zoom into like the battle like in a first person mode?
I did that my like first battle. I didn't know. I just accidentally did it. I was like, holy shit, this is awesome. And so I just kept doing that the whole time.
Yeah, like the game has so many options that you wouldn't know about. Like, I didn't miss the dual screen. Also, real quick side thing. The saving in this game is so fucking quick. It's insane to me. Yeah. This is like a really minor thing. It just throws me off because I'm not used to a game saving this fucking quickly. It's literally like I press a button and I'm done. It's nuts. But yeah, I don't miss the dual screen much at all. I thought I would. It doesn't. I don't feel like I've lost anything because everything that you could do on the original screen, on the dual screen, you can still do.
What?
And it's
Let me
nowhere
ask you,
near.
what did the second screen have? Just a map or something?
No, it was the map, and then also like if you were to challenge an enemy, it would give you like their details and how much potential damage you would do.
Yeah, I was gonna say because the dual screens on the 3DS and stuff didn't, it didn't really, demand two screens. It was one of those ones where you just had the stats of the enemies and stuff, and it didn't. To me, I don't think it'd be an issue at all. Just going back to a single screen for Fire Emblem.
Yeah, because like
So,
people got to remember that's what it
Did you?
started as anyway.
And now it's a widescreen for the first time. Oh, maybe it was on Wii.
No,
So-
it was only.
Next question: how does this feel? The first HD Fire Emblem game officially. Do you feel like they did a good job there? Not just visuals, but like you feel like it's a significant.
Oh, you mean like step up?
Step up, not just in visuals, but just as the game in general, having the full resources of a console. I know they've
Okay.
done console versions, but
do they have feet? That's the most important thing, Terrell.
They all have feet.
Hey,
Although I wasn't looking that hard, but yeah, I know it's have feet. I'll say this straight up before I even go into the answer. I'm not a big fan of this game's art style. I'll just say that off the bat.
really? I thought it looked
It's not
really good.
bad, and it's grown on me as I've been playing the game. But like originally, I still think like Echoes and Fates have better art styles, but that's a personal opinion. As far as the advantages of being a console game, or just being back to being a console franchise, in a lot of ways, I would say, yeah, it really feels like the issues that you struggle with on the 3DS with models and shit, really got fleshed out, or the fact that I can run around the monastery and I can hold down the B button and sprint around the goddamn monastery without being like, oh, I got to load into another area.
Mhm.
Oh, I got to load into another area. Like, I really am glad it's on a console. And well, let me just rephrase that. I'm really glad it's on the Switch specifically, so for those who have the console apprehension, the Switch is both, so you don't even have to play it that way if you don't want to. And it runs pretty good on handheld. I do think there is slowdown on the handheld, but not significant. But there is slowdown. It feels like.
yeah, because it's not too in this day and age. You can't not too often you can say like this is the first time that that a franchise is in HD for the first time. I mean, this is 2019, so you don't hear that too often. But this is definitely Fire Emblem's first foray into HD. So
To be fair, I feel like that's like every Nintendo franchise. Like that was every Nintendo franchise, Wii U generation, and then the
It
ones
still
that
is.
didn't
Yeah, it still is for a
and we
while.
still haven't
Yeah,
had
and then
Metroid in
Yeah,
HD. so-
Yeah,
Yeah,
how to find
Luigi.
Animal Crossing.
Hey, look, Luigi's Mansion will be in HD for the first time.
It's just so it's funny to think that that's true, and in 2020 there's going to be a game that like the first time, unless you count Happy Home Design or whatever, was on the Wii or Amiibo Festival.
We don't count that.
Nah, that shit doesn't
We didn't even want to
exist.
talk about that.
That just shows you Nintendo definitely missed the beginning of the HD era, but also they don't throw out games as much as people say they milk franchises. I mean, they usually one per generation, a lot of these games, and but since the Wii U was a short life cycle, you didn't get some of these. Didn't get the Fire Emblems, the Animal Crossings and stuff. So
I think honestly the only two franchises that argument was even kind of true for was probably either Mario and Zelda. And even then, it wasn't like the games, it wasn't like the mainline games are oversaturated. It was just the IP. Like you just saw Mario in some way, shape, or form like every year.
more of
You
the
saw
character
Zelda.
than
Yeah.
Yeah, the IP was oversaturated. But they never did the games. The games were never oversaturated.
Especially because it's one platform. You don't see a 3D land in a 3D world. You know what I mean? Like you don't see that.
No, it's gonna be
But,
crazy if let's say Metroid Prime 4 comes out in 2022, or be like the first Metroid game in HD. It's gonna be fucking.
I mean, that's technically a true statement. That's the weird
It's
thing. It's
literally
like
true.
it's a weird statement, but it is a
It's
true
gonna be
statement.
18 years after the first HD console came out.
Oh, shit.
We had it in Nintendo
One of
Land,
the
so
most popular franchises.
Yeah,
Insanity.
that's just it's just their way of doing things. They want to wait till it's an established thing. They were a little. I think they underestimated HD TV saturation back in 2006 or whatever.
Oh yeah,
that blew up. 4K is not going to be like that. Nothing else will probably be like that. But
I like that though, man. It's still excited to
Yeah,
think that that we
It
have
is exciting.
these games, in HD. It's one of the big excitements of the Wii U, right? You're just like, man, we're gonna get Nintendo games in HD for the first time. I know we're still waiting on some franchises, but I still find that really exciting.
it's exciting. It's almost like
I know it's funny, basically.
like
it's
not
also
watching
like
not watching Endgame and waiting for it to hit Netflix. Like
Yeah.
a year and a half later, you're excited about Endgame, but it's like only because you waited to watch it, type of thing. But
I
Yeah,
will
it's
say,
kinda-
I will say that's half of the reason why I find Nintendo games reaction videos so entertaining, because like literally most fans are like, "Shit, this looks gorgeous." Like I still think my favorite one, I think it was Juice's reactions to Luigi's Mansion 3 looking so good, and it's just like, yeah, this is what Nintendo can do with an HD console. You're like,
When they quit bullshitting.
yeah, you like people are just like, whoa, all right, damn.
What do we do? What do we do with F-Zero? Make it in HD. That's all people want, bitch.
no shit. I mean,
Yeah, that's what I was still asking for. F-Zero wave race, put it in HD, please. That's all we
Luigi's
want.
Mansion 3 is just it needed. I mean, there's no excuse for it not to look amazing, but the first reveal
You were
wasn't.
still blown away.
But seeing at E3 and seeing the direct feed footage, like Jesus Christ, like that's can't wait to play that.
It looks like an animation movie now to
Mhm.
me. It's
Yeah.
fucking stunning.
But then I mean, I've already played like Gravity Rush 2 as one of the best art styles in a
Such
video
good
game. So I mean, but still, Luigi's Mansion can still wow me, even though I've already seen like technically something beyond that or more artistic. But and I tried to have I thought it'd be a bigger topic a while back. I said, well, could Metroid in HD for the first time? Has it been too long? Have we seen too many games in HD for Metroid, for Nintendo to wow us? Apparently, I was right, because they need retro to wow us, because Nintendo couldn't do it. But so
that's disrespectful. How
it's
dare
gonna be.
Where's those receipts, man? Where's that confirmation?
you?
Some other dodgy developer, man. Don't you diss the big end like that? That's just too casual.
Put respect on his name.
I just I wonder by the time Metroid Prime 4 comes out, though, will it be on the Switch, or will it be on the successor to the Switch? We'll have to see.
You know what I mean?
You mean the Switch Pro?
'Cause by the time Metroid Prime 4 comes out, there definitely PS5 and next Xbox will be out, and possibly even for a year. So
And does Nintendo care?
they don't care. Just,
Fuck no.
I think there's still a chance that its impact of Metroid and HDs, the longer they wait, I think the less impact it would have. If it would hit on Wii U, I think, because Wii U was definitely capable for the time.
See, I don't think it'd be an issue. I really don't, because if you compare how, say, Horizon Zero Dawn looks to Breath of the Wild. I know
Yeah.
we got our style differences, but they were both out pretty much the same time, and you can give a shit. We'll still swear that Breath of the Wild, because of the art style choice and just the way the world moves and and hums and vibrates. We just say it's we believe it to be better.
Yeah, I think it looks
we
better.
love to look at a game. It depends what they do with Metroid. Metroid has always had quite a unique art style. It's never necessarily looked completely realistic, in that respect. So they could work some magic. I
Yeah,
reckon.
These MIA Metroid fanboys who come out every once in a while, they're gonna be excited anyway. So, oh my god, it looks amazing! It's Metroid.
The only thing if they try, I'm not gonna say a realistic approach, but if they go a little more towards the realistic side, I think that's kind of where the Switch runs into hits a wall a lot quicker. So that's just why I think Metroid, unless they do something a little more artistic, could maybe not be as impressive as even like Luigi's Mansion 3 or something, because of depends on what way do they go with it and the scale of it and everything. So, but anyway, Any other Fire Emblem? Anybody else picking it up soon? Anybody got a
Well, I'd have my shit right now. When for the random cancellation of my special edition, thanks to GameStop with they
Yeah, I
bitch
forgot about
ass.
that.
This is like the
And this is why
third
you
or
don't.
fourth time.
And this is why you don't pre-order from GameStop.
Well, that was my only choice. I had no other choice to get the special edition from.
And you still lose. Now, what have we learned?
I lost.
What are you just gonna get regular version or try to find?
Yeah, I'm gonna get this.
Yeah.
He sounds so bummed out about it. He's like, I gotta get the normal version.
Is it me or is the box art kind of lame for this game?
Say what?
I thought the same thing.
The box art kind of underwhelmed me.
Really?
Yeah. I guess it's what I mean.
Yeah,
it could
that's
be-
your answer already.
You already got that. It's it. Yep.
You talk about Fire Emblem yet?
Yeah, I'm gonna,
Yeah, I think realistically, I was just like, it's fine. That was my thought process.
Yeah, I mean, like,
because the Switch box art's been on point so far for almost every game, and this one's
Really?
just not doing it for me.
I
Just
mean,
got the characters going around the box, haven't they? Like one's upside down. And,
Yeah,
they've already made a meme about that.
especially when you look at the special edition, the concept art. That could have been the cover.
The only thing I really like about that box art is that the voice actor for the guy who's upside down in the box art, when he revealed that he was the voice actor of that character, he jumped upside down and shot like a
I
bow
saw
to the camera.
Is he the one on YouTube, like and
Yeah,
Twitter, and
yeah, he
putting
was
all kinds of videos up?
Yeah, he was, and I was like, all right, this man's a fucking fool, but all right, I like him. He's good people. Dude, I'm tripped out how many voice actors I recognize in this fucking game is ridiculous.
Yeah.
As my anime fandom is showing itself.
well, that
Man,
I
a lot of
would
them,
say, the voice acting's really good too. Like the
Everything's
the
voice acted.
dialogue-
Yeah, that's
Is
the
it-
other thing I really
Yeah,
like.
everything. Shit, is everything really voice acting? And,
100%. That's what I
Yeah,
heard.
like normal,
that's
like
incredible.
even normal conversations. The support
Crazy.
conversations have been kind of crazy too. Some of them are kind of like old school, kind of like Awakening and Fates, where they're kind of goofy, and some of them get really dark really quickly about
Yeah.
like, oh man, my family was like, I have multiple siblings, and most of my siblings are dead, and I'm like, oh, so that's why you were crying in your sleep. That makes a lot of sense.
The Fire Emblem games have kind of always been, it's still like, like a dark medieval type of fantasy, isn't it? Like, excuse me, sorry, with oh shit, I've lost my voice. I'll be back now.
No, well, you know what I was gonna say about Fire Emblem is that like that's what I'm surprised with is that I've actually like remembered names, and that's something I don't normally do in games is that like remember characters' names. And he was like, oh, I remember his name and his name and his name, and so like when I see the person on the battlefield, it's like I know the name of them.
Also, Robert, I was gonna say you chose Black Eagles, right?
Yep, the Empire, yo, Star Wars.
All right, you're weak. Do you have like a favorite student so far? Is anyone teacher's pet?
I was just gonna ask Terrell that question.
Oh, I mean,
Well, the thing is, you talking about Tamari?
no, I just mean in general who you like. Like you just like their personality or their quirks.
I've been leaning towards in terms of like using and always kind of interacting with is Eldegard, Casper, Petra.
I like Petra.
Petra is bae. Petra is cool.
What?
People.
She's 16. Yo, I was like, what? Are you
Listen, there's a time skip. She will be legal in the time skip.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Yeah, I'm back,
and
guys.
also Bernadetta, yo. Bernadetta is pretty cool.
Bernadette it's been like one of my favorites as of recently.
Exactly. I just said 5 Fire Emblem guy names. It blows my mind, and it's something that I
You
wouldn't
didn't even get them wrong either. It's crazy.
That says a lot. I think that says a lot.
It does say a lot for.
Yo,
A
what
lot of
the-
people, a lot of the old school heads have said like, this is a really good jumping in point for those who are like, I don't want to play it on a handheld.
Yeah, I'm not
It's-
trying to put that shit on a tiny screen, yo.
The chibi characters.
Hey man, and it's cool because they still have it. Like they have knots to it, like in the loading screen. The
Yeah.
chibi, the pixel art is still there. I guess real quick, I'll talk about some of my favorites because unfortunately, me and Robert picked the same squad, so there's not a lot of variation here. The only ones I add on is I like Bernadetta, Dorothea. God, that bitch needs to chill
Whoa.
out. She, for those people in the chat who played Persona, she reminds me a lot of Risa from Persona 4. She's one of those like pretty girls whose main concern right now is getting married because she's one of them type of chicks.
Yep. And I was like, whoa, I'm single.
I am a fan of Hugo and Lyndon and Linhart are pretty entertaining. Linhart's the one who like always wants to sleep, and Hugo's like Edelgard right hand man.
Oh, you mean his name is Hubert? I'm thinking you're saying.
Oh, is it Hubert?
Yeah, it's Hubert.
Oh, he's correcting you. Oh, Robert.
Dude, I was thinking for myself like Hugo. I'm like, who's Hugo?
I'm thinking, yeah.
Hubert. Okay.
Robert correcting Terrell and Fire Emblem. Goddamn.
It's a name, guys. Relax, all right. Jesus Christ.
He only knows
This is
the
not a knock
female
on you.
names.
This is just a gain on Robert. That's all I'm saying.
Actually, I'm not gonna lie, just that's probably true. I probably know the female.
It's only because it's a guy. Guy names.
Can you marry a guy?
Got him.
Can you marry a guy? Can you marry a guy?
Yeah, there are. I heard there are like lesbian and what is the? I guess I should have just said homosexual. Yeah, I should have just said homosexual marriage. That's what I should.
All right,
say.
man.
I don't know.
Like,
Why.
I was talking to Ferdinand.
2019.
I don't know why. You know why.
I
No,
was talking to Ferdinand, and he was getting really friendly. I'm like, man, maybe I'll marry him. Yo.
let me ask
Robert don't give a damn, yo.
since we're on the topic, what's with that? Is it Sothis? How do you say her name?
Yeah, Sophus.
Is she like some magical creature or something?
In his head?
Yeah, it's in your head. I can't realistically, they haven't gotten too much plot with her. She's just kind of been there since a little bit past the beginning.
Because I wonder if she's gonna have it at the time jump. Is she gonna be a adult version or not, or is she just always gonna look like that?
I wouldn't. I mean, usually a very common anime trope is that it's a girl who's lived for thousands of years, but she looks like she's 12.
Yeah.
And then
You talking about Tiki? Yeah, is this Tiki?
I don't know. That's actually who I thought she was. Is like this generation's Tiki, but I have no idea.
Yeah, because she's got. I mean,
like
a really cool. Her character design's amazing.
I love the way she looks, but like they haven't really. She is essentially that whole. She has amnesia too, so she's just they're commenting on shit that you're dealing with. Like it's not. They haven't really given her a lot of story focus. Also, I'm just gonna say this right now. I do not trust the lady of the church. This bitch sounds like that's Lady Rhea. Rhea seems to be on some if you defy the church, you're dead. Like, I don't know, man.
Typical religious person, man. What's wrong?
I wasn't gonna say it, T.
That's my mum right there.
You know what's crazy about the game is that like as you go through the calendar, you know, there's like times where they'll be like, hey, this guy wants to talk to you, and like I generally like I was like, all right, well, I'm probably just gonna do the battles, or at least I think. I don't exactly know how this game works, and then I just started getting caught up in like making everybody T-yo. I just want to like I just want to talk to everyone and like having dinner with everyone and like, hey guys.
I figured Robert would beat the game and not even know you could do anything with your students to like help.
It's almost like they force you to do it so you learn how to do it, because like for the first time
he playing Fire Emblem as Alfred from Batman and shit.
Why you do that?
That's why I like
for everyone. Fuck it.
Well, I mean, it's a weird situation. Like you'll be, but it's like it's during the week. All right, I set up my lesson plan. Cool.
That's
I got my goals for the week. All of a sudden, hey, Edelgard wants to talk to you. What? About what? Yeah, when I was 12,
I was like, come on.
Happened.
And Terrell's like, let me drop what I'm doing. Bernadette wants to talk to me.
No, I haven't. Go ahead.
Wait, you go ahead.
I was just going to say, I could see a conversation Robert has having tea. He's like, oh, so you like tea, do you? I love tea. I especially love pan tea. I could see.
What?
Panties. Wow.
So stupid, yo.
I just that was an old
That's why
joke.
our female viewership is at 0.89%.
Yeah, like,
It was an old joke
that's
guy I
what
used to
I'm saying.
work
You want to
with.
click the unsubscribe button just for the fucking yo. Like, how dare you?
Guy I used to work with used to always. He always, anytime we'd see a good
You
looking
always
girl,
talk
something.
about
Man, I want,
He'd have
I want to have some panty.
He has some bad puns. Huh?
man. That's
Remember in Until Dawn when Hayden panty ear when he talked about that?
Oh no.
I thought he was gonna say Paneteer for a second.
Yeah.
Whatever happened
And,
to that game? That great game? Did they make? They making a sequel?
Wait, what game?
Not that it seems like. I mean, they made like this VR spin-off, but
Oh yeah.
now like
All right.
but,
So since we're speaking on impressions of Fire Emblem, I thought I'd get my hands on for the Ononaki demo that I played today.
Fuck yes.
You want to talk about dark subject matter?
pretty dark.
The first, like within the first 5 minutes, the dude like kills this mom and dad so they could be with their child that passed away, because that's what they want. And then later on, and this is all like in the first 10 minutes, in the demo is the beginning of the game.
Spoilers.
So, there's like a cult, a mass suicide. That's like the next thing you have to deal with. And so your job is to help people pass on to the next life so they can reincarnate, so they're not lost souls. And that's you're called a watcher. And great music. The story is like super interesting already. It's all in Japanese with subtitles. I hope the final game's like that, because I don't know, I just for some reason anime and games with that kind of art style, I'd rather have like subtitles than mediocre voice acting, like English voice acting. So I don't know what their plan is, but the game is really good. I'm definitely considering picking it up day one. Comes out the week before Astral Chain, but it's really cool. The only thing in the beginning, there's a lot of, you only have one move until you like level up they're called daemons, your little like spirit companions.
It's not much different than Astral Chain in some ways. Where
Yeah.
you have this kind of character chain to you.
Mm-hmm. And then once you do the skill tree, then I was like, oh, they got a special attack. Oh, another one. And I actually had 3 for one of my daemons and 2 for the other. And I was like, oh, okay, so it's going to open up. Because it was just kind of like spam the Y button over and over in the beginning. But yeah, it really sold me. The art style is amazing, especially when you go to the Dark Realm or whatever it's called.
This is from the same guys who done Octopath, though, isn't it? The same team, right?
I'm
No,
not
it's the same
100%.
people. It's Tokyo RPG Factory who did both Lost Sphere and I forgot. I'm Setsuna.
Setsuna, yeah.
Yeah,
So
Setsuna, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I can honestly say I've never bought a Square Enix game unless it was just the Tomb Raider games published by Square Enix. I know that they didn't make this game. It's just one of their companies, but I would say it'll be the first like official Square game I buy.
Wow.
So
What? You've literally never bought a Square game?
I've never bought a Square game other
What
than
the
the
fuck?
Tomb Raider
What's going on?
2 and 3, the
There is
Shadow
no
and
God.
Rise.
There is no God.
So, but yeah, I'm sold on it. It's great. The only
Sorry.
That's a fact.
like I said, I'm a little concerned about like the enemy variety and stuff, but it's early in the game. So, did you play it?
I played the demo too myself, and it's like you said. Well, you already mentioned it now, so it doesn't really matter. So in the beginning of the game, like I'm starting to play it, and I'm like, yes, this is exactly what I was expecting. It looks super beautiful, atmospheric. It's really addictive to play. Because like I said in the beginning, you don't have a lot of moves yet, but you get more and more, and then different daemons as well and shit. So it becomes really cool, and then because it's the type of game where you start playing and then it builds up to like a title screen. And like once that title screen hit, like I was fucking in shock. Like I haven't had that effect by a game in a really long time. It's like Juice, he's like understating how goddamn dark this shit is. I was watching the title screen. I was sitting and looking at it. I was like, oh my fucking god, what did I just watch? Because what I love about this game is you're not really playing a hero. You're playing a fucking bad guy. He's goddamn intense. He's like convincing people that he should kill him. Like, it is so
This
dark.
is the type of
so
edge that
good.
Retro needed in his life.
It's so fucking good, man.
Complete asshole.
Retro needs an edge lord.
No, because it's so, and they make it seem like he just doesn't give a fuck and everything. And it's so, and I saw that title screen, and once the title screen hit, I was sitting there, I was all sweaty and shit. I was like, day one purchase, instantly. It's so good.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
And then like
The only problem with the game so far, and you guys know me, I'm the last person to always mention this. It has god awful frame rate a lot of the time in like cutscenes or anything. It almost seems, at first I was like, are you doing this on purpose? Is it a style? Because it is that jittery. And I was like, nah, this can be like.
Yeah, when it opens in that town and the camera's panning,
exactly.
It's pretty jarring. I don't know if it's just a glitch or what, but
it doesn't happen during the gameplay. That's what I was thinking. But fuck, this game is good.
Could just be an early demo, you know.
Yeah.
So
That's my one apprehension with the game is I'm a nice guy. I'm a really good guy, and I don't want to play as this asshole.
Well, by the end of the demo, he's already kind of. You can see he's gonna have a character arc. I feel.
Well, I'm sure.
I assume that's the idea behind it and shit. But man, it's like if you can handle that shit, it's like the precipice. Fuck, it's so intense.
But the art style it's weird because it's like chibi characters stretched to like more human like proportions, and it works.
Is it like Bravely Default's art style?
I was just gonna say it is exactly like Bravely Default. If you would have a stage between Bravely Default and let's say like the Tales of games or some shit like that. As you,
I was literally just about to mention Tales. Yeah, I was literally just about to mention Tales in terms of like the stretched chibi type of characters.
Yeah, that's the team who I thought had made the game. The Bravely Default team at first, because it looks like you said, it looks a lot like a game that they would make. So, but yeah, I haven't gotten to the end of the demo yet, but I gotten past most of the stuff you guys are talking about. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Does anybody understand what's okay? Because you have the light, well, not the light world. You have the living world and basically the dead world, which is the dark world. There's sections where, like, you start walking through and it looks like there's just completely darkness, and you slow down. You can't.
Yeah, you got to switch back to the other realm because you got to wait till.
That's what that's about.
You got to find like you kill an enemy and it has like a essence or something, and you go and stand near that, and then go into the dark realm, and then. For some reason, you can, it fills out the map or whatever. You can see.
I think the way they explained it is that the enemies like absorb that world in a way, or your sights and senses and shit, and you're supposed to like gain them back.
Yeah,
it's a bit. I don't think the game needed that part per se.
I kind of wish the game was coming out early August or mid August. Not a week before Astral Chain, but it is what it is. Nintendo's they didn't make it, so they didn't have probably too much say in it. A couple of these games would have been nice, earlier in the year, a little more evenly spaced. But I think I'm picking it up unless something changes. But I was thoroughly impressed. The music's amazing, cello and like violin. But
the music is so good, yeah. I think what I like is
like I say, Juice, you chucked the music on Twitter. I had a quick listen to it. Mm-hmm. The title theme sounds, sounds beautiful. Sounds amazing.
$50 though. $50.
Hey, you can get it for $44 by pre-order bonus.
I'm sorry, Grandma. Relax.
If you got to pre-order the digital version though.
Oh shit!
You know they have on the Square Enix store. They got the UK physical copy up.
Yeah.
Huh?
They don't do us any favors, Robert.
The Square Enix store, they got the UK physical copy.
Oh yeah. I had planned on getting the.
I wish I lived in the UK.
Importing it anyway.
They don't give a damn about us over here.
Yeah, for some reason Nintendo's weird about that. Like the UK gets all this damage.
Oh wait, actually, I just thought
I can't be too mad about it because it used to be the other way around.
Why me?
They were getting screwed out of stuff. Mm-hmm. So now it's just what goes around comes around. I guess.
You know what makes me mad though? When you got people who live over there who don't buy the damn special editions. I'm like, at least buy it, all right? At least I can feel some
Make me feel better about it.
Yeah, at least pay for it, you assholes.
But can you actually import it from the Square Enix store? Or do you got to buy it like third party? I actually don't know.
I mean, I think you can import it, but I think it costs more.
But,
Oh shit!
No, but I did see some people. I saw some comments were like, "What the hell is this $50?" And I'm like, "Come on, dude."
Is that how
Like,
they talk, Robert?
Yeah, probably. And it's. I was looking up.
I think we call that. I think we call that stereotyping. I think that's what that is.
Apparently, it's like 30 hours, so it's a long game.
No,
regardless.
there's not. I was just messing around.
No, I'm not talking about you. I know you're messing around.
$50 is just like it's a hard download only purchase for me. I can't.
No. Yeah, no. Again, I'm not talking about you. I'm not talking about you because I know you. But I'm talking about like there's people that are like, what? I saw one guy that says, "What the fuck does this cost $60?" I was like, Jesus.
It's
Oh,
top
damn.
down bullshit.
It's a little offensive for some people.
I will say I hope
because of the art style.
I hope they can
That's the
figure out the loading. It's a little long at this point in the demo. It's not like it loads like every area, but just like the initial load and stuff, it's definitely longer than I was expecting.
But guys, we're not even talking about the biggest news that came out today, though.
Let's do it.
The biggest news that came out today was that we found out that Super Lucky Star comes out November 8th.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, dude, I'm picking that up.
That's a long ways off. I wonder if that's strategic or that they just really need that much time to keep.
I hope that's
the only other Nintendo title that comes out is Pokemon. That's at the middle of the month, I think.
Yeah, I think that was strategic.
I need a good platformer in my life.
Also,
wait a minute. Wait. What day?
November 8th.
8th.
Oh, 8th. Okay, so it's a week away from Luigi's Mansion at least. So
yeah, it's spaced out decently. I do also want to mention real quick that Nintendo, as far as like selling shit this year, has been killing it. Like I think we found out, I want to say a week or two ago, that like they've literally won MPD for like the entirety of this year.
I'll jump on VG charts right now. It's kind of embarrassing. Xbox One, this is the week of July 13th, only did 38,000.
That's Wii U shit.
And PS4 140, and then the Switch at 244. So this is where the Switch can gain some ground, because up until probably the first maybe February of this year, the PS4 and Switch were neck and neck like every week. Yeah. But I think finally there's just the days are numbered.
There's nobody left. There's nobody left to sell a PS4 to, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah, that console was already selling insanely well. For a console that, especially for the early years, didn't have any games.
Yeah.
And then it finally got games, and we were still kind of like, guys, like, how many more people are gonna buy it?
I think by the time Pokemon comes out, the Switch will be past the Xbox One for sure.
We don't know what its current sales are. What was the last?
Well, you got to find out what current Xbox sales are.
They've been in the low 40s for the last year on VG charts. I don't know.
Yeah, most people I think estimated it around like 42, 43.
I think it's around 43.
Yeah.
Probably.
But I think, what was the last numbers we got for the Switch? Like, where was it at the last time we...
It was like early 30s. VG charts has it at 36, so it's only it's only 6 million away, and with this discrepancy in weekly sales, probably before Pokemon comes out, it'll be caught up to it. So,
and it doesn't even have a pro version yet.
If you notice,
like Switch Lite is coming out this September, isn't it?
Yeah, shit.
Include that, yeah.
And then you got the main console refresh.
That's the no version, not the pro version.
The PS4 honestly needs a price cut at this point.
I'm surprised it hasn't got it. Honestly,
it's still selling enough. That's why
it's selling enough, but I mean, it might hit 100 million, depending on how how early the next generation starts.
So they got a lot to make up for. They've been losing money for decades.
But
it also depends. Well, I mean, they'll have their Death Stranding comes out this year, right?
Yeah, I don't think that's
selling.
Oh yeah, Death Stranding is November.
Actually, that comes out in November, doesn't it?
Yep, comes out the same day Super Lucky Tales.
Sorry for you, Super Lucky.
Oh,
God.
can't catch a break.
I just
yo.
realized I missed that Astral Chain 8-minute video too. It just got couldn't watch it when it was someone shared the link, and then it's just so much different stuff's been popping up in my feed. I just realized I haven't watched that yet. That sucks, but
It's just a lot of shit got buried, and it's crazy because we're not even done. Like we're still in the middle of like the high tier Nintendo gaming season, because next month is Astral Chain, and then September is Zelda. Yeah, Zelda, and then I think October is Luigi's Mansion, and then November is Pokemon. Like, shit.
yeah,
And then
man.
I'll be playing Dragon Quest
Animal
too.
Crossing got pushed back, didn't it?
Yeah.
Was it
Yeah, Animal.
February?
Honestly, you don't really miss it when you realize there's like a bunch of fucking games.
know.
I still want it. I still want that bitch, but
I'd take it
I
over
miss it a
Pokemon.
ton.
it's
Well,
easier to live without it
That's
right now.
first party stuff, but then I mean, also in November you got Doom Eternal, which comes to Switch. The Hollow Knight sequel is slated for fall
God damn.
holiday.
Good.
Like, you
Oh
got-
yeah, you got Dragon Quest in September.
Dragon
which is
Quest.
like I think it's like a week after Zelda drops.
Damon X Machina's coming out.
Yeah, I forgot that.
right before
Jeez.
Zelda.
See, people.
I feel that game's gonna be buried. I think.
I think
don't
so.
know.
Literally, I think the only two games that I'm trying to think is when does Gears comes out September, right?
September, yeah.
September, yeah,
Is that Xbox's only title this year?
pretty much.
It ain't even Xbox. It's on PC.
PC
too.
as well.
Well,
Y'all-
you know,
Y'all disrespectful.
Xbox be sharing.
That
So.
was disrespectful, yo. Y'all was so
I get
quick
if
to
I
like,
didn't
it's
buy
on
that,
PC.
buy that shit on PC.
I mean, I didn't play 4, but after playing 1 and 2, I was really excited to play 3, and it came out, and I was just like, talk about a more of the same. Some franchises, some genres that works, but for Gears, I was so fucking bored by the end. I was like, I could go 20 years without playing another Gears game, and now they had 4 and 5 within a 2-year span. It's like that's all they got.
I remember when I played Gears of War, I played Gears of War 1, 2, and 3, and I literally played them back to back over a few days. And I say this all the time. I could not tell you what happened in each game because they just merged into one. They were so similar, so identical. I can't barely remember any levels in my head. I can't barely remember any bosses.
I remember a boss fight on a train. I think it was in 1.
Yeah, some guy on a train. That was the second game. Yeah, I can't even fucking remember.
Goddamn.
So yeah, we're gonna get to the questions we got on the Discord. I also want to just talk about Mario Maker for a little bit, because I actually had an idea for something I want them to add, and I talk about, me and Retro were kind of chatting a little bit about the friends lobbies. It's like, I mean, if somebody, I remember back in E3 when there's like, yeah, they're still developing the game. We're adding friends lobbies, and people are like, oh, that was always the plan. That was always part of the development. Yeah, where the fuck is it?
Where is it?
Like,
never coming, man. It'll come the same time we get N64 games.
I think it's gonna be
Jesus.
2 to 3 months after it launched. I mean, they had. I bet you they had to start from the ground up. That wasn't even a thought they had. Like,
That's not what I was told.
because they got to make it so. If they don't do it the bare bones way, where you just have find a lobby or create a lobby, which I think that's what they're gonna do. If there's any kind of invite system, they have to build that from scratch. So unless it's just the bare bones, just hit find lobby and hope somebody has a lobby type of things. But it's got to work with the.
They take too long, and we'll move on.
Yeah. So that was never part of the plan. They might have discussed it and then rejected it. That might have been the only time it was mentioned. I don't think it was ever seriously considered.
I think it can be redeemed which I believe is going to happen with Mario Maker, if they're going to release new packs, new Mario.
Yeah, I think that was the other part of it.
Yeah, if they do that, when they do that, even if they add this friend thing later, I think people will still be able to enjoy it because of that, because people will be coming back.
Well,
The
they
game's gonna
support.
start selling.
Yeah, they supported the first game with almost like Splatoon with, hey,
Right.
update coming out with this new thing, this new thing. They did that like three times for sure with like major additions.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I asked when the game first came out, like, what do you want to see? And now I have a bunch of time in the game. I think I'm up to like 85 hours. Just make it so I could put a square of water anywhere I want it. Maybe it has to be a certain size. Like, remember in Galaxy, the areas, and other games used it too, but it was first in Galaxy, where you're like it's a scrolling stage and you're jumping, wall jumping, then you hit the water and now you're swimming in this very specific
the water cubes. I know what
yeah,
you
the
mean,
water
yeah.
cubes. Like, there are so many times where I'd love a little swimming section, but I don't want the jungle theme, because I don't want the water to be everywhere. It's like that would be a super cool addition, especially for 3D World, because that
It was in 3D World, wasn't it?
I think so. The
Yeah,
other
it was in
thing,
3D World in the game.
the platforms, the arrow, the green, where you jump on the front of it and it goes forward, and you jump on the back of it, it goes backwards. I think the track system, which isn't in 3D World, they could make that. I think that would be a cool addition too. I was like, because that was like 3D Land and 3D World. That was a big thing. Was those?
What if they added the cherry from 3D
That'd
World?
be crazy. Because the 2D plane, I don't know how that would work, but that would be something.
That'd be crazy. Yeah.
So there's definitely some things I could add. Super Mario Brothers 3, that fuzzy ball that would rotate around, like in the castles. Like,
yeah.
But I know why they don't do stuff like
What are
that,
they called? They
because
look like they're like sub gremlins from My Neighbor Totoro, aren't they?
there's some I don't know how to describe them, but that's how I remember them. But they'd have to have it for the other games too, so they have to actually create original for World and the original game. But they did that for everything else. Remember, they didn't have the retracting, like, giant spike pillar things, whatever you want to call them. I don't know their official name. That wasn't in the original release of Mario Maker. They added that in like the second update, and that's they had to make that work in the original Super Mario Bros. 3 and New Super Mario Brothers. I think it was already asset there. So I'd like to see if some more things expand out, because you can't truly make, like, there are still levels you can't make in Mario Maker because there's just the assets aren't there from pretty much all the games except maybe the first game. So, like, you don't have the checkered floor in 3D World, or not 3D World, Super Mario Bros. 3. So yeah, I think there's a few things I'd like to see.
Yeah. So I was thinking of when you in 3D World, when you had the floor panels and you'd have to run over them in like a certain order.
Oh,
in order
yeah.
to color them all.
Oh, sorry, my bad. I'm looking at the Super Lucky Tales trailer,
Uh-huh.
and scroll down in the comment section. Somebody said, "Oh boy, I can't wait to play this with my drifting Joy-Cons."
Nice.
He got like 300 or 400 likes.
And the last thing I want to talk about Mario Maker is, now they have this much time in it, I was really like, how are they going to make this game work without the gamepad? I was on that fence. I was cautiously optimistic, but like, I go back and forth. And I was creating a level, and I made the whole level. Then I decided I want to make all the ground be a checkered pattern, so I had to alternate hard block from ground, hard block, ground. And I did it all with the controller, and it's like, I can just do quick little just flicks with my thumb and put the cursor right where I want it now. Like, I have no issues playing with the controller on the TV. Like,
I've barely played it in portable mode. In terms of designing levels, I've mostly designed it on the TV, just with the controller. I really have.
The only thing I would change is have the items hide by default, and have me hit X to bring them up, because I want them hidden way more than I want them, because they block up so much of the screen, and you got to hit X to hide them, so you can, like, see the full screen. I wish there was an option to make that stay off by default, and then if I want the items, I could hit it, or maybe just hit up on the D-pad would pop the items up. So just a few little things there, but yeah, really, I had dogs. I was dog sitting for a couple weeks, so I barely had time. And yesterday, 5 hours vanished. I had an idea for a level, and just next thing I know, I think I started playing. I want to say like 2. The next thing I know, it's 7 o'clock. I haven't eaten or nothing. I'm like, holy shit! Like, I forgot how time flies because I haven't had the time to actually make a level. Now I got like 3 or 4 of them working on. It's just an enjoyable for me. It's I almost prefer just making levels to. I do enjoy playing them, but I don't know. I get a lot more I think out of just creating. So, and I honestly don't. I wouldn't even need probably Astral Chain in August. At August 30th, I'll still be playing Mario Maker. I think, especially if they put out an update. But anyway, let's do some questions. We had a few leftovers from last week. I don't see any new ones.
Ooh, warm beer.
Yummy. So yeah, Malik Terrell wants to know, or Malik wants to know, Terrell, what happened to good anime games? Everything has turned into shallow 3D arena fighter that gets dropped in within 3 months of release.
Yeah, Terrell.
The fucking garbage. I want that to be stated. For those who may not be uninformed, pretty much a lot of the shit Bandai's been putting out. That fucking stupid ass Kill la Kill game that came out on Switch, I want to say last week or so, garbage.
I already forgot about it.
That My Hero Arena game, garbage. Jump Force, garbage. And people are like, "Are you excited about the new Dragon Ball Z Kakarot game?" Fuck no, we can't. We haven't gotten a good Dragon Ball Z game since the Budokai series. I want to say.
Damn.
Raging Blast is the
Didn't
big.
they show one at E3?
Fighters.
Didn't they show one at this year's E3? Another
Yeah, that's
one?
what I'm talking about. The Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. That's what that is.
Everyone was
That's
excited when they showed the year before. They showed the Jump Force, and that turned out to be trash and forgotten instantly.
The last decent anime game we got was the Fighters game that Arc System Works worked on. Everything else has been fucking trash, and I think it's partially because they keep putting out titles too damn quick without actually like checking or without actually making interesting ideas. Because they're all been arena fighters, and arena fighters are cool, but not for every fucking franchise. Like it's just, I want good anime representation. My Hero doesn't have a good game. Hell, One Piece doesn't have that many good anime games. Only a couple. I'm sick of this shit. Bandai make better games. That's my issue.
All right, so next question from Deku Tree. I'm gonna have Robert answer this. If you had to pick a famous person, YouTubers included, to purchase the bath water of, who would it be, Robert?
Shit.
I shouldn't ask Robert. He has so much trouble making decisions.
Wow.
It wasn't really a serious question, so.
Yeah, I don't know. That's pretty hard. Yo. Maybe I'll purchase each of your guys' bath water.
All right.
Can I answer it?
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Arlo.
You stupid. You're so stupid. Why you want get that blue shit in your mouth, man?
All right.
I know.
Why you drinking it, yo?
It at least be safe.
It would be safe, yeah.
You don't know where his hands been.
So Dave97 has a question. I'm gonna have Clocked It answer first, and if anybody else has thoughts, what are your thoughts on Captain Falcon overall? What are your thoughts on the cutscenes and voice acting in F-Zero GX?
You know, I'm a fucking Sega boy, yeah, man. You know, like the cutscenes in F-Zero GX off the fucking chain, right? If you actually go back and watch them now, the CGI for the time was just fucking awesome. I always remember Jodie Summer's hair. You know, like after Captain Falcon rescues her from like the blowing up the power plant and stuff, which is an awesome fucking explosion, by the way. Cool. You never had. We always talk about evolving, these universes, and it might look a bit cheesy now to some people, but that was just classic Sega, man. I love that stuff over theatrics. With Samurai. What's his name? Samurai.
Samurai Goro.
Yeah. With him like flailing his arms. Oh, come on, Falcon! I'll race you now. He jumping his car. It's fucking. And you got What was the bad guy's character name? Black. Black. My mind's gone blank at these guys' names. One of the main
Adam.
bad guys on
I
there.
think it was just Black Shadow. I think.
Black Shadow, thank you. And he's also like theatrical and over the top as well. It was just typical Sega. I fucking loved it. But as for Falcon, I think I always if F-Zero was to come back, how would people feel if it didn't come back as a racer first of all, and it came back as a third person shooter stealth type game where you play as Captain Falcon as like a bounty hunter, maybe a bit like a Mace Griffin, if anyone remembers that, or even a bit like a Metal Gear Solid or something like that. Just something cool with a bit of Mass Effect to it. So you have to go to these futuristic bars and take on bounties and stuff like that, and maybe have one or two sections where you're driving in your car to cross the city or something. But man, I think Falcon's a great character. And,
Not to attack you personally on this, but I hear that shit from so many people always that say that, and those are the same people that F-Zero is exactly like fast racing. It's like, no, I want my F-Zero to be a fucking racing game. That's what I've been waiting for. So if after like goddamn 20 years you get a new F-Zero and it's not F-Zero, I'm gonna be salty as hell.
Yeah, I think a lot of people.
I'm not saying it's the ideal situation. I want to race it as well. I just say, if they're going to bring F-Zero back.
If they're gonna bring Captain Falcon into a game, it's got to be a beat 'em up or something.
Falcon here, just do something.
Punch.
Falcon Punch. It's got to be like Bayonetta. He should be like fucking Bayonetta, combo heavy action game or something.
But if you do that, you got to bring out F-Zero first because people are gonna be pissed.
Otherwise, we'll have another. Oh, my mind's got a Federation Force.
Federation Force situation.
I'm gonna keep my thoughts on Captain Falcon quiet. I will say there is one video where Captain Falcon actually they pulled it off where he actually looks cool and seems like a cool character, and that is Lucina's character reveal for Smash 4. That was the only time I saw Captain Falcon looking cool.
Captain Falcon hate you.
Captain Falcon is goofy as hell.
Did you never see like the anime Falcon Punch he did and shit? That was so good.
The whole universe erupts, doesn't it? Like
it was a magical. That was the manliest moment.
So
him into a spy espionage game.
I never understand.
Good idea, Clock.
Like I never understand.
I'm just talking about the F-Zero universe expanding, and it has so many characters. When you go back to like F-Zero GX, there's like 30 plus characters. Fucking all racing.
Yeah.
They all got backstories.
They're very colorful characters with backstories, yeah. Like so.
A lot of people never liked that story mode that GX had, but I think those are the same people that.
Great.
I loved it.
I think those are the same. Like a lot of people always complain about it and shit. It's like, yeah, but the original game basically already came with a comic book and everything. Like those cutscenes, like there's this cutscene where the race starts and you have all the vehicles there and like CG lifting up, people getting in. That shit is burnt in my mind. That looked so good.
If you don't like
F-Zero meets F-Zero Crossblade.
Can't you hit the big A button and skip them?
I don't remember if you could skip them in GX.
I tell you why people hated it as well, because that game was hard as fucking nails, man. So a lot of people could even do the story mode because some of those levels were fucking hard.
Yeah.
F-Zero Cross Blade Runner. That's what I want to see. Cross Metroid.
I take it.
So TriLink has a good question. I'm gonna have T answer this. Do you think dual screen gaming like the DS or Wii will ever return in the future, or has the industry moved on for good?
That's tough. That is tough.
We want it back. Bring it back.
I'm gonna say it'll come back. It may not be the same as what we had before, but I think because people, in the future especially, but people now are so used to like using dual screens, even with their PCs and different things. I think it'll come back in some capacity, even if it's not from even Nintendo.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if dual screening console gaming's done. Because even on PC, you got the second screen, but most games, if you got in full screen, you can't even access the second screen. It's just there. And
Yeah.
I don't after
I'm just
this.
saying evolution wise.
Yeah, I'd form factor wise, I'd be shocked if Nintendo went back to it anytime soon. If they do, I think it'll be like maybe to try to, I don't know, a gimmick to try to get some, some hype going again. Hey, let's remember the DS, remember the 3DS. We're back,
I'd be really interested to see if
Well,
if Nintendo done it with this with the Switch 2, and just tech, that streaming tech, which was just fucking flawless between the Wii U and the TV, the gamepad of the TV. Managed to incorporate that in the Switch, and then you can decide then if you want to play two screen. So if you did take it off the dock, something would pop on the bottom screen, and then you could use it for that or whatever. But I reckon, I don't think that's out of the realms of impossibilities for the next one.
That would be a step back because you need that extra power to run the other screen. People don't like that. So, I need all my power.
I'd be curious how much it took to stream that, to convert that to video and stream that to the gamepad. If someone could just take the power of the Wii U and forget the gamepad, I wonder what it would have been capable of. I kind of thinking it would be almost to where Switch is at right now.
Yeah, it wouldn't be probably much
But
more.
no one had no one ever really talked about hey, it's actually, I don't know if it's rendering the second screen or just streaming it like a video. I don't know, but it was like near instant. It was just like a millisecond, I think, was the input.
It couldn't have been rendering it because it was the gamepad, right? So
Well, no, the Wii U was rendering two. Was the Wii U truly rendering two images, one for the TV for the games like Smash, where if you were using the gamepad as a controller, the game was on the gamepad. It took away like the damage. If it was just sitting there idle, it would show just the health, the damage percentage of the characters. But if you used it, it just mirrored the TV, so it was 1080p 60 on the TV, 40p 60 on the gamepad. And I don't know if anybody truly ever figured out if that,
I don't think it never. I don't remember it ever running two games at the same time. So if you had Donkey Kong, it would be Donkey Kong on the screen and on the gamepad. It was only one or the other.
Well,
And
only
then
Donkey
if it was
Kong's the
something
only
else,
game that did that.
Yeah, Mario
But-
3D World ran two screens. Full
Yeah,
on.
I'm just-
on the TV at the same time. Was that? I can't
Yeah,
remember.
Yeah.
it always did.
Did they?
Almost every game
Yeah.
did that. Bayonetta 2 did that.
Pretty much, yeah, almost every game.
Damn, I don't remember that. Sorry, in my mind, I'm just like pressing the minus
Yeah,
button. And
there's
then
only a few games where the gamepad screen was different than the TV screen. It was like Xenoblade Chronicles, Zombie U, Nintendo Land. And most of the games just mirrored what was on the TV.
Why
Which
did
is,
I forget that?
it's been a while.
Batman Arkham Armored Edition. They had
Yeah.
a difference.
Yeah, there's a few, but most I'd say
Yeah, most Nintendo games, especially, mirrored the screen.
over 90%. Splatoon had the map, so that was another one. But
Yeah.
The
anyway,
Darksiders actually allowed you to use the gamepad while playing, also to look at the map and to change the gear and everything on
Yeah,
the fly. I
Wind
think
Waker-
it's like you guys said, most non-Nintendo companies utilize it way better than Nintendo themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. That was
yeah,
my
because
biggest-
3D World literally just 100% of the time it was on the gamepad, and you could have it go off your TV. But why? I mean, it
But
made
how
no
else could you
difference.
rub those blocks and blow the
Yeah.
switches?
I thought it was annoying when I think Donkey Kong Country did it. I thought it was annoying when games forced both, and you're looking at the TV, and in the corner of your eye, you just see the game below you and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you could. That's when I realized it was the gamepad that told me I needed to put my TV on game mode, because like I'm jumping and I'm like, it's jumping first on the gamepad. So I was holding the gamepad up and I was like, holy shit! So I actually hooked. I used a completely different way to hook my Wii U in, put that on game mode, and got it. So it was close.
Maybe the development environment is different now, but you would think, unless Nintendo required you to use the gamepad differently in your games, even when they didn't do it to themselves, you would think that, at least especially today, there would be a way. It was like, well, we want to use boost mode. Basically, we want to
be able to use all the power of the Wii U, and just have you play a traditional type of setup. And we can get more out of the game, a tech standpoint.
Yeah, Star Fox Zero should have looked way better on the Wii U, but it's because of that. That was truly rendering a completely different image. It wasn't just mirroring.
Right.
So,
right.
All right. Anybody, this is from Skate's Finest, anybody in the crew considering purchasing the new Switch with the much improved battery life when it comes out?
The much improved battery life. It's like, come on, it's not a new Switch.
That's double.
I mean,
It's like
go ahead.
I was gonna say what Zelda's up to 5.5 hours from 2.5. So I mean
that's pretty big.
I'm tempted. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm good.
Mario Maker is the first game ever where it keeps telling me I need to charge it because I like building levels on the gamepad a bit more, and then I'm watching some shit, on YouTube, and you guys stream way too fucking much. So then I like do shit on like my gamepad and shit, and then it's like, oh, you need to charge your console. I'm like, oh fuck, I've never had that before. Even when playing Zelda, even when taking my Switch with me to like other fucking countries or the hospital or wherever I took it and shit, So I don't need this thing if it's just like a better battery life.
It sounds like Richard doesn't play Switch that much.
I would say Mario Maker would be the reason I would consider it, but there has to be some other little tweaks or improvements they haven't mentioned.
I need an analysis.
I can't dock my Switch.
Retro though, you're thinking you're making a case for not needing it, but now you're making a case for needing it because you said you didn't have any battery issues till now, so now's the perfect time.
Oh,
got him.
Who killed the cat?
I can't dock my Switch now without having to hold the fucking kickstand in. It even at almost straight angle, the fucker pops out.
Really?
And I don't even use tabletop that often. It just makes no goddamn sense.
It might be time.
Fix them shit, Tendo.
Like I'm to the point where I'm almost thinking about just taking it off because it's just such a pain. Or taping it shut. I don't know. The two choices I have. Because I look at all the aftermarket ones and they have like a bump on the back for like an extra micro SD slot. Like why would just make it flush and make it click better? Like. It's so stupid. I don't know how they thought that was a good kickstand.
They didn't. They knew that shit was cheap. It was good enough.
I gotta eat a little crow. That one video we made fun of where the guy was just knocking the Switch over. Like I was
a stupid video.
It was stupid, but I went to. I said this a couple weeks ago or whatever. I went, or maybe it was in a Juice Opinions. I don't remember. I went to adjust the volume the other day, or like a couple weeks ago in tabletop. And I barely touched it, and the fucking thing tipped over. Like, that thing's worthless.
I'm going to test that right now.
Well, see, the thing is with me, especially when I first got my Switch, when I was doing that kind of stuff, I was holding that bit for dear life anyway.
Well, I
did anything to it.
I had my Pro controller in my left hand. I was trying to adjust the volume with just one hand.
I'm going to try that right now because I haven't done that.
But yeah, my kickstand will not stay open. So, all right, Surreal asks, what's your most favorite thing about this generation of gaming so far? What's your least favorite?
Right. That's the games.
Yeah, this generation, there's nothing like standouts, because technically Breath of the Wild was part of last gen too, wasn't it?
Odyssey.
Yeah.
I guess just Nintendo killing it as a Nintendo fan, even though they're also greedy and overcharging for. I was looking to buy a dock and fucking. They're hard to find, but $90. I was just like, come on, that's just so overpriced. So I guess
my favorite thing is the drama that ensued, where kind of building off what you said, where Nintendo's doing so good, so everything that's worse than the Wii U now is really good. All of a sudden, I kind of live off that drama a little bit.
Can't stand for that shit.
Yeah, the Switch is nothing like they said it needed to be, but yeah, they're still praised, and every flaw is ignored. Or
I know. You remember all that? It was just fucking ridiculous, man. The amount of hate the Switch had at the beginning as well. Everyone hated on it. It's just it's the turnaround is just
It
mind
needs to
blowing.
be $150.
$150. God, cheaper than a 3DS. Goddamn.
Um, anybody else have a favorite or least favorite thing?
Well, I'm going to include Zelda. I'm going to say one of my favorite things this generation is playing the first open air game.
Yeah.
You know, and it changed my life. You know,
I'll throw in my least favorite thing. I don't really have a favorite thing. Least favorite thing is Xbox. Just Xbox.
Well, my favorite thing is seeing the Xbox community turn on themselves. That's one of the
pretty good,
highlights.
That's
I
great.
think that's worse than mine. All right, I wanted to be.
I'd
Stated.
say my least favorite thing is some crazy obsession with Game Pass from certain YouTuber that I used to like, and just
Oh,
it got to the point. It's just too
I'll
much.
break it down to that.
Chill out. Listen,
go there.
Juice. Listen.
Everything
Juice.
you could have said. That's the thing.
No, listen, Juice. You keep talking like that, you're gonna be seeing red real quick.
Oh man. Why y'all gotta do
Game
that?
Pass, like, who? I don't know anybody else praising, doing anything other than just saying, "Hey, Game Pass, it's nice, cool
Hey, listen,
rental
we're-
service."
The words
Listen,
expressed by
listen.
Juice and Terrell do not reflect the Mr. T show.
Listen, I'm just trying to have an active gamer life. That's all I'm trying to do.
Oh God.
Come on.
I'm just playing.
Wow.
I gotta change it up.
saying, I'm just trying to be active with my gamer life. That's all I'm trying to do.
Man.
I gotta
doesn't
change it
reflect
up.
my
Ain't got
I
nothing to do with that, bro. Ain't got nothing to do with that, bro. Ain't me.
gotta change my favorite thing. And my favorite thing was learning that a Switch Mini has to be weaker because it's smaller. I think that's my new favorite thing.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I love how Muhammad says it's only the true it exposed the true Xbox fans because the good riddance to the flip floppers. Like, I think there's
Sound like a Wii U weirdo, man.
yeah, that was some Wii U stuff, but I think it really just exposed what happens when you don't have exclusives. You don't have the third party rights, and you don't have the most powerful at launch, and you have a overpriced, more expensive, weaker system. I don't think that really exposed the fans or anything because they haven't put out any top tier games. What are their top tier games that Microsoft's put out this generation?
Are you talking about this generation?
This generation. That's
Well, one of them is on a Nintendo console. The rest of them are on PC. Actually, no, because if you're talking about things specifically created by Microsoft, fuck, what is that?
because Halo 5 came and went.
Remember the Connect 2.0?
Yeah.
Remember that? Remember when that thing was integral to your Xbox One experience, and the minute they saw what happened,
Actually-
they took it out, and it wasn't integral anymore. Remember that?
Actually,
That's not the fans' fault.
I think it
It's
just exposed.
actually,
Microsoft got comfortable after that
Right.
360 generation.
I'm
But
genuinely
it happened to Sony. Sony did the
Happened to
same.
Nintendo.
Real
Nintendo
quick.
too. So
I'm
it
just
happens.
curious. What is the best Microsoft made game this gen? Like
Mm.
I don't know.
I can't think. I think it's Killer Instinct. I think that.
I'm
would be it.
thinking Gears. A lot of people would probably say Gears 4. I'm
But then
guessing.
that's not. What was the best Microsoft made game during the 360 era? Like,
Halo.
you know,
I like Halo.
Actually,
Reach a lot.
Forza Horizon 4 is probably that's a Microsoft Studios, but Turn 10
Halo what?
Playgrounds made that. But
Not
I like Halo Reach. I like
Halo-
Halo Reach to
Okay,
bitch.
but
It's probably
that's weird.
two.
This is the saddest
No, 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 no.
conversation
I-
ever.
No. I said during 360 era.
Oh,
That's
360.
that's what I said. For 360, for me was probably Halo Reach.
Okay, so that's very
360. Three was what was it?
AKA
360?
Halo niche, but
Oh shit!
I'm not ragging on you for liking it. It's a good game, but what I'm saying is
Was
they
it
haven't had a wow standout game that Microsoft actually made themselves in quite some time.
that's true.
Yeah,
That is very true.
They get a pass for 360 era because they were basically second place that gen.
They also had a bunch of third party shit. That's what kind of helped. them
and
along.
it had all the third party games that were pretty much exclusive because Sony messed up, so it wasn't like they always had these, outside of Halo, they haven't had these standout games.
any generations.
Which is weird. It's
And I'm a
crazy.
fan.
You're a fan of what, T? No games?
I'm a fan of Xbox. Well, I was.
You mean the color of the brand?
I like the
What?
It's
they
a
set up.
If Halo Infinite's coming to PC, yo, I guess I don't have to buy an Xbox, whatever Infinite.
I am genuinely concerned.
Project
about how,
Scarlet, I mean.
yeah, I'm genuinely concerned how they're handling next gen because I'm like, right now you already have a bunch of bad taste from this gen, and you're going in the next gen with all this cross buy.
That's propaganda, man, and fake fandom.
What are you talking about? They setting up to be the best next gen. They set up everything. All their ducks are in a row. What are you talking about?
Their Project Scarlet with their I mean, talk about the most underwhelming console reveal of all time, yo.
They got the cloud. They got the Game Pass. I mean, they're set.
They didn't come on, that's not fair. They didn't reveal the console yet.
But come on, yo. I like honestly, have you ever thought of a time where like console
Well,
came
Nintendo
and
showed-
no one's talking about it? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's
Yeah.
so weird to me.
Nintendo showed the Wii box and just called it the Revolution. It was exciting because of the name, but all they did was show a black like square box that didn't really say anything. But
We're
people
in
were
the age of everything, like, you know, Twitter and everything, and I just don't see any like
Nobody's-
hey, Scarlet.
But anybody
You know what I
talking
mean?
about PS5? Like,
Revealed, though.
It's a bunch of
not like the NX rumors. Nintendo.
if you're an Xbox fan, they're talking about the Scarlet a lot because they need something.
Yeah, they ain't got nothing to talk about.
But they talking about it anyways. So
in retrospect, you know what we should do probably since the PlayStation and Xbox generations at the very least will probably be over by the end of next year. We probably should go do like a retrospective of the PS4 and Xbox One generation.
But that's next year.
Next year.
Oh no, I'm just saying. All right.
All right, let's get to this one more question. We'll save the next the other two for next week. Final Smash DLC slots. He said 2 slots, but there's actually 3 characters left because they said 5. I'm before Banjo. I thought
there's 2 left.
Yeah, there's 2 left.
What do you mean?
2 left.
Joker, Banjo, and
Oh,
Hero.
that's right. Fucking Joker.
Yeah,
You're right.
Joker, Hero, and Banjo. Yeah.
So without Banjo, I thought for sure it was just going to be a Japanese sweep 5, Japanese developer IPs. But now with Banjo, now I'm kind of thinking the door's open. I'm going to say Rayman probably. I'd put a chip on Rayman on the roulette wheel.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
No, I don't know.
Well,
So there's a question I've been meaning to ask when it comes to like new characters. Do you guys think there's a possibility one of those characters could be like a first party character?
I guess not. I guess not. It's weird.
They
like,
kind of said that the DLC characters will be different. I forget how they phrased it, but they kind of
That's
implied.
literally how they said it, I think, yeah.
They just said you wanted to try to be unexpected, aren't they?
I mean, how many more? How many first party characters do we not have representation for?
There's so many.
I mean, just from Switch
Waluigi.
generation, there's characters.
You right? All right, listen. T said some fuckery. Shut the door.
I mean, just fucking Rex and Pyra, or
right?
there's a new Fire Emblem
that
game.
hurts the most, yeah.
Could have Petra from Fire Emblem.
Yeah, but really,
No, fuck the Fire Emblem shit.
Listen, first off, you know what pisses me off? We went from Fire Emblem being a dead franchise to people like, I'm so tired of Fire Emblem. What? When did this happen?
They did kind of.
We've gotten a lot in the last few years, though.
Mhm.
I mean, we have, but God,
At least they didn't release Let's Go Fire Emblem.
Wow. Wow.
I just wanted to be stated, I did not buy that.
And they didn't try to do the dual release, triple release. They said, "All right, this is a console. We're gonna do it different." We realized
They totally could have, and I don't think anybody would have been too mad about it. But
no, we probably would have been mad.
So I'm saying Rayman.
That doesn't mean we wouldn't have bought it. I'm just saying we probably would have been mad.
I'm gonna say Rayman and I'm trying to think of like a Platinum Games character that could potentially, but nothing's really been on Nintendo other than.
Well, if it's a Platinum Game character, it's probably a Capcom character, like
the wonderful 101 guy.
There's no chance.
See, I think I've
It's gonna be a third party.
I've come to the realization that it's more
Wonder Red would be
likely
great though. That'd be
those characters are going to be saved for the next Smash game when Sakurai kind of does a reset. I think that's what it's going to be. So that's why I'm not expecting like Rex and Pyra and shit, because I think he's like, if I do another Smash game, that'll be the new generation.
Yeah, but by the time he does that, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 will be such a distant
I know
memory.
it is. It's gonna be giant backpack guy from that new Kojima game.
You are disrespectful,
Be
bro.
Raiden.
Giant backpack guy, you know.
A lot of people were saying Mortal Kombat. I feel like Mortal Kombat's like way.
I'd take
too
Mortal
versatile.
Kombat over like fucking.
Oh, you said what, Juice?
I said I'll take a Mortal Kombat character over just like another JRPG character that I don't know.
Man, get the fuck out of here.
I'm actually gonna be like weird here, but because you say like no JRPG, and I totally understand that. And with my hatred for the sword fighters, this is even more weird. But I want, especially since the Dragon question, I want the next character, at least one of them, to be a Tales of representation.
I knew it. I knew it.
Don't
I knew
need
it.
it, man.
Retro,
And, like,
retro.
And I'm like a Tales of Symphonia kind of guy, so I'm gonna say like technically Lloyd would be the best choice, and he has like
Retro,
two
don't-
swords.
Retro, don't do this. All right.
Charlie's got the right he's got the right touch there.
What'd he say?
Lara Croft. Bring her.
That just doesn't make sense at all.
All right, so
She's
my
iconic. She's one of the last. Few
Just the
iconic
biggest iconic character that's not a first party to Microsoft.
Yeah,
or
but she's
Sony.
always been she's in that same group as like an unofficial Sony character. That's why a lot of people view her.
Nintendo though.
Let's just hope it's not Crash Bandicoot. That's all I care
I mean,
about.
honestly, I don't need Crash in the game at all.
Oh,
That
that's-
It's
It's not about what you need. It's about what what these people want out
Lara
of it.
Croft just wouldn't make sense at all, only because like there's no. Has there been any Nintendo?
Don't say anything about it, Mr. Joker. I don't want to hear about this.
Yeah.
No,
Lara-
no.
Lara was on the
That is
Wii.
not the
Laura's
same
on the
thing.
Wii game,
That is-
or not a GameCube. My bad.
Just the Wii, I
No,
think.
she is on the GameCube. No, she is on the GameCube. GameCube.
Oh, she's a,
Tomb Raider Legends.
that's right. That's not
Oh,
GameCube.
okay.
That was
okay,
Wii.
okay.
That was Wii, my man.
The
GameCube.
biggest character that's not Lara Croft is fucking Steve from Minecraft.
He's on the Game Boy Advance.
Oh, get the fuck out of here.
I think Rayman.
That's a
Rayman.
fact. I'm not even gonna get the fuck. That's a fact. More people would recognize Minecraft over.
I mean,
Tomb
they
Raider.
would, and that's just sad, is what it is.
You know what I'd
I would
like?
take a goddamn rabbit over Steve from Minecraft.
That is true.
I want.
Steve from
Hey,
Minecraft
hey,
not happening.
Hey, let me just correct you. Let me just correct you. Tomb Raider Legend was on the GameCube because I got it, and it's
That was a 360 game, wasn't it?
Really?
not Legend. No, you're thinking of probably
Underworld.
Anniversary.
I'm thinking Underworld.
Collection.
Anniversary was on the Wii, and Underworld was on the 360. Yeah.
Legend was on GameCube.
I don't even
Yeah,
know what
I thought
Legends
that
is.
That's
I think you're
the.
thinking of Anniversary, though.
I have it for 360.
I have a couple for 360, and I don't even know which ones.
Because of
Legend.
Banjo, this is why I don't think Steve from Minecraft will get it. But if there was no Banjo, Steve from Minecraft would be fucking there.
Why is Banjo stopping Steve?
I don't see it on the game.
Because I don't think they're gonna put two Microsoft guys.
It says
Goddamn,
Xbox,
Steve.
Xbox 360,
Oh, no,
PlayStation
he's
3,
right.
PlayStation 2.
Hey,
So yeah,
He's
listen,
right,
I know
he's right.
I'm right because I got the
He's
fucking
right.
it
game.
was a cross-gen.
Yeah, he's right. He's
It was
right.
a cross-gen game.
Of course, I'm right. I got it.
I
It was
might.
on the fucking. It was on the Game Boy Advance and DS, yo.
I think I might have this game.
I said that. I said it was on Game Boy Advance and DS. I didn't remember Cube though.
I don't know. I don't know. Lara Croft is probably one of the weirder choices for me.
Lara Croft's not getting in.
But the
Fucking.
GameCube was trash, so it don't matter.
I'm gonna have to look. I
if
think I have
Snake
this
can
game.
get in, Lara Croft should get in.
Yeah.
I agree.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I brought her up because it's like Snake bitch ass is in there.
Honestly,
Laura
they
should
might
definitely
get
be in
that's
there.
the guy, yo. They might get one of.
I guess maybe it's because Laura doesn't really. I don't know.
She better be able to do a backflip, right? Clocked it.
Well, here's the question though.
And that's when you bring.
Wait. Here's the question though. If she gets in, what version do they use?
I'd
Over
say
the,
probably from this generation, from
Yeah, this
I
generation.
want the
GameCube
exact
Wii.
PlayStation 1 version.
No, okay. Let me ask you this: would you prefer another version of her, other than the?
I can roll with. Yeah, I can roll with this version of her.
I'm
Yeah,
watching the
yeah,
Tomb Raider
GameCube.
Legends, and like to me, that's
Legendary.
Actually, I would kind of prefer the Legends look.
He actually does look quite good in Legends. So
That wouldn't hurt.
Smash Bros. Yeah.
That would
it-
fit Smash Brothers pretty well, I think.
Because she has her side
Original
flips and
Lara with the pyramid dance.
Nah, man.
I mean,
that
we
could be
can't
a
go that-
that could
we
be
can't go
a
that old
choice.
school.
a different skin.
Yeah. I guess
Yeah,
I
that would
did
be
play
fair.
Legends.
Doom guy, yo, will get it before Lara Croft.
Yeah, that's no. I wouldn't.
Legends went really action heavy.
Yeah, it
You know,
looks
the problem
very
is that
Put on right now.
Tomb Raider is one of those franchises that have been around forever. But like, it in some ways it doesn't feel like it has the same kind of notoriety as it probably deserves.
Man,
In some ways.
I don't
she
know.
had her own like swimsuit edition. She had interviews with Lara Croft. Lara Croft was huge.
Girl at work.
You can't, yeah, I'm with T. You can't underestimate the cultural impact that Lara
Right.
Croft had for
It
video
was
games.
insane for
Agreed.
a good 7,
Video
8
games,
years.
yeah.
Oh, I do have Legends. The black dress when she goes into the party at the top of a skyscraper. I'm
Does
watching
Snake
a
have
clip.
a movie? Huh? Does Snake have a movie? No. He got 3 of them motherfuckers. So
Jesus
she was
Christ.
big.
He's a big man.
And ain't none of money worth a damn.
Gonna be
Ooh.
She's a bigger
Rayman
character than than Snake, than Master Chief, than Kratos, than Nathan Drake. You
I
can
don't
name
know if I
any
would agree
other.
with- I
you
don't
can
know
name
if I
any
agree
of
with
those guys.
Snake. I don't know if I agree with
Oh,
There's
so
not a
if
person
you
I know that's not.
Snake is the Snake is the only one I would debate.
Ask a
Well,
non-gamer.
walk out into the
Yeah,
street
so
and say, "Have you ever heard of Lara Croft or Solid Snake?" And most people will say Lara Croft. Bet you.
People who don't who care about video games know who Lara Croft is. That's
Mhm.
how big she was.
That's the difference.
Anyway,
You mean Snake?
I think-
from-
just the fact that I forgot about Joker was even out, and I thought there's still 3 characters left, tells you everything you need to know about my thoughts on these DLC characters.
Well, I'm trying to think because even if we sat there and thought about like Japanese games representatives,
I think
What?
Resident Evil has a chance. I've been saying that for a
No.
while.
There's gonna be some
Yeah.
Capcom shit. They're gonna piss me
yeah,
off.
well, it doesn't make sense to me.
Hey, we
because
gotta-
Capcom already has a representative.
Maybe that's why we're getting Devil May Cry, because Sakurai wants Dante in Smash.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
seems redundant to me. It would place too similar in some ways.
To who?
To Bayonetta.
Again,
Yeah.
the Doom guy, yo. The Doom guy, I'm telling
Doom
you.
guy, I rather. I put it this way: Lara Croft is probably the most appealing of the characters we have mentioned.
But
so
she's
far.
the-
You
I think-
said that you would play kind of similar, but didn't I hear so I didn't buy the badge yet, but didn't Joker have like the same moves that almost everybody and shit?
No,
He's got a unique moveset.
you're
I
talking
heard he had like a
about
lot of the same moves as other people.
No, the hero from Dragon Quest is the one people were saying had similar moves because like one of his jumping forward smash is like links.
And that's why they're gonna show 20 minutes of it, so they could be like, "Yo, look, he's not the same guy."
I didn't
mean,
even know Devil May Cry came out on Switch already.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
it looks. I mean,
is it
it's the first game. I mean,
1 and 3? Or is it
no,
3 out
it's-
yet?
No,
3
it's
is coming
one.
though.
Is it coming?
I could have sworn that was a thing.
If it is, I didn't know it was a thing. You know what? I'm surprised, Retro. You
I
didn't
could be
say?
wrong. I could be wrong. Don't.
I'm
take my
surprised
word.
you didn't say Chrono Trigger. That's what I thought people would have said.
Mm.
Me?
Add another 5 characters, yo.
I think it's whatever Sakurai wants, and then if it can happen.
Well,
So
whatever it is, it won't be as big as.
And also, they also have to.
No.
I mean, think about it. His whole thing recently has been different mechanics with these characters. Like, you had Joker with Arsene. More like in Dragon Quest Hero has all of his various spells from what we saw from the trailer, and Banjo Kazooie has Banjo and Kazooie. It's essentially like an Ice Climbers duo, without being the
Or
exact
Duck
same
Hunt.
thing.
Duck Hunt Dog.
Yeah, it's not the same thing as them. So I guess we need to think of a character that kind of fits.
Rayman literally has.
I hate
arms
that damn spider.
fly away from him. You know what I mean? Like he could throw his arms and shit.
I mean,
The
yeah,
hero-
but I think the problem with Rayman though is like how many interesting abilities does he have?
It's
Look
not
at
about that, man.
He has
Fucking
quite a few
awesome.
because
They got
Rayman.
Game
Got,
and
I'm not listen. I'm not against Rayman. I want to state it. I mean, he's fine. I'm just asking the question for devil.
Oh, you think he's
advocate,
fine? Okay.
too. I knew you couldn't do it. You couldn't do it. Terrell, how was your day? Oh, T just threw me out there in the pasture. That's what happened. Where were you? I was trapped out there for 30 days and 30 nights. It's fucking great.
You back right into that one.
I
I'm
just hope
actually
it.
still confused a little bit about Hero because the way the first real trailer made it seem is that all his skins have like different moves. So I'm really waiting for that 20-minute video. Actually.
Yeah, like he has some interesting mechanics. I just don't want it to be like a Smash 4 Shulk situation where there are a bunch of cool mechanics, but in real battles you can only do like one or two of them.
Right. That's what I'm worried about.
That's the problem Shulk had. That's why they had to change his little rotation wheel.
I thought it worked better the old way, but I haven't used him much.
Really?
I haven't used him enough to truly say, but
I kind of agree with that actually.
Really?
he's such an in our group. No one ever uses him, so
I use him as he's like my
somebody
7th or something. But...
Yeah, I've seen. I think Retro was the one who used them in our group.
Yeah, because I really like Shook. I like a lot of his smash attacks specifically, but I use him less now, specifically because I think the wheel is a lot more annoying now to use.
We talking about representation. Shulk only got one game. He in.
Yeah, but he's a Nintendo franchise.
He's in 2 games.
I know that.
Technically in 3.
Man, we ain't counting that.
Now you're just talking a bunch of bullshit.
That shit don't count.
Walk around trying to act like your shit don't stink. Fuck out of here.
I still think I wouldn't be surprised if Doom guy got in. That they were like, you know what? That's some good cross promotion. We just had Doom 1 to 3. We had Doom Eternal. All this kind of stuff, and I wouldn't be surprised if they put in a fucking, instead of having some Master Chief, have a guy that looks like Master Chief.
I say Geralt. Throw him in there.
Shit, you gave me.
I can legit see them do that.
I can't wait for that Netflix series now that trailer's out.
That trailer was weak though.
I'm trying to think what
characters we got. We got like Ryu Hayabusa from Ninja Gaiden.
Gaiden. All right.
He's
it's good
also
to see you're still buff though, because I was worried. Now he ain't Superman. He gonna let himself go. It's still huge. The only reason I'm saying that because I want him back to Superman.
I'm about to say, to be fair, what Western gaming icons do we have left
that anybody would give 2 shits about?
Yeah.
That one character from Sea of Thieves. What was his name?
What?
How dare you?
No, he didn't.
I think Lara Croft would be it. I think that's it. I think
Lara Croft would be it.
Lara Croft and Rayman, I think.
Rayman, right?
I mean, Rayman's more European. That's
still Western.
The way you say that, I take offense to that. He's more European.
I mean, no, he's literally
Shantae.
Listen, that is a
Shantae.
I love that dream, and I just don't want to hear it anymore.
It's never gonna happen.
It bums me out when it doesn't happen. That's why.
Hollow Knight would be cool.
Joker in there, so I ain't no telling.
What if they had the Undo Dog from Mario Maker?
All right, listen, in the podcast.
Let's just undo that suggestion.
Yeah.
That's about as exciting for me as Hero and Joker. That's right up there.
Okay, all right. Juice, who would be the 2 you would want? Fuck the
There's
logic
really no
behind
one I want, but it'd be the lesser of all the evils choices. I would take Laura and Rayman over pretty much anything anyone else could name.
Beautiful Joe.
Yeah, but that's on Capcom again, isn't it?
I mean, cool. He's a pretty cool character, but I mean that's.
I like his.
That's pretty obscure. That'd be a pretty obscure one.
He is super obscure.
To get people to pay. If it was
he also has a really cool gimmick, though. That's what pisses me off.
Yeah, he'd be a cool character in Smash, but I don't think not too many people are gonna pay for him. And
yeah, he's too niche.
You got to get I want to say for both of them, but for at least one of them, there's got to be one that's like exciting.
Well, that's right. What they should do is fuck with everyone's mind. I'm telling you, dude, fucking Abraham Lincoln, he was in Codename Steam.
I just thought of.
I love that, yo.
The other option.
I love that Robert, of all people, remembers that, and it fucking warms my heart, my dead heart.
Codename what? I don't know.
Nope.
SteamWorld Dig.
Nobody knows Codename.
Y'all are terrible.
So
100,000 copies.
That was a good game though.
The other
That was
option, I've said it a bunch of times, not today, but in past, would be Breath of the Wild champion, Urbosa. Come on.
Oh man.
Because it wouldn't happen.
Honestly, I don't think I think
I'd be
past that
excited
phase.
about that.
I wouldn't. I
Or
don't care.
let's go out of left field and have a guardian. Be like,
Like that.
I'm
Already got
gonna
one.
I'm gonna say something really dumb and stupid, but fuck it. What about Klonoa?
I don't
I
know.
would.
I wouldn't mind Klonoa, but nobody else would care.
Joanna Dark? Nah.
Ooh,
Oh, get the fuck out of here!
Microsoft don't even care about her no more. So.
No.
Oh!
One of the detectives from LA Noir.
All right, now you're just being stupid.
Hey,
GT.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
actually a character I always wanted to see that I still think could work, but I doubt it would happen. I'd still like to see Professor Layton somehow.
Oh
that
yeah.
wouldn't be a bad idea.
that wouldn't be bad. Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be
I
cool.
wouldn't be
I
excited.
mean, think about it.
but
They made Phoenix Wright work in Marvel's Capcom 3. So
That would be
Professor Layton, he even fought with like a cane or something already in like cutscenes and shit, and you could have like this dumb shit with the puzzles and shit. I could
he
see that.
would at least be interesting, like
I honestly, I probably would fuck with Phoenix Wright just because I like that weird style.
No, I still want Reggie Fils-Aimé, yo. I still want Reggie Fils-Aimé to be a character in Smash.
All right, listen. If we're gonna do people, you just need to put a wad in the game.
do that with me.
I saw
I was
the
gonna say you got like a meat.
all right, we're gonna wrap this podcast up.
Put a condom on this bitch. We're done.
Yeah,
move me's in the next update. Fuck them.
but
Jesus Christ.
maybe we'll have to after what we see tomorrow. I don't know that they'll tease the next character. I won't be shocked.
I think
That would be kind of lame if they didn't.
Yeah, but like Evo's this week, I feel like you gotta at least tease it.
Yeah, I wouldn't
We're gonna do
mind. I
something.
wouldn't mind a little something, but actually, I just don't play Smash that much anymore, so I'm not. It really doesn't matter. I think it's mostly because of these DLC characters. The first two have been so disappointing for me.
Sorry.
But
Yeah.
well, Banjo's. I'm not a huge
Oh,
Banjo fan,
you-
but he's at least a cool character that I'd
Oh,
pick
okay.
that I actually want
I didn't know if you
play as.
I knew T and Clocked It were super hyped for Banjo. I was like, I don't know if just
He just
I feel
looks like it'd be a cool character actually to
Still
play
bring
as.
tears to my eyes, man.
So yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in, and we'll be back next week. Do it again.